we're definitely one of the hungrier teams for this title. I think we've had a lot of hype surrounding our team ever since when we first started playing.
We've been practicing about 8 hours per day coming to this event, and everybody has been spamming a ton of Hero League. We want to get really comfortable in our heroes coming into this tournament.
One of my favourite dynamics for the team is we all like to joke around with each other. We're all comfortable with each other and we all hang out a lot. There's a lot of joking in-game, out-of-game, but when we have to get serious, we get serious.
I don't really have to tell people to practice because everyone is motivated and they want to be the best and they try their hardest all the time.
With Dignitas, I think we show that we have 5 incredibly strong players who all have the ability to make our own plays on the map. We can create situations from anywhere. I think we're very confident in our ability to play every map and play almost any style.
All of our players have pocket picks. Having those kind of versatile picks really gives us a boost in our drafting.
We're really coordinated. We can turn any situation that looks bad into our favor.
For me, winning at BlizzCon, it would be really awesome because we'll be the first team whoever gets the title.
And I think it'd be really cool to, say, oh yeah, we're representing Europe and we came into the first World Championship and we smashed it. Like, that would be an awesome feeling.
The Heroes of the Storm World Championship is brought to you in part by Intel, Windows 10, T-Mobile, and MasterCard.
Hello and welcome back to the Heroes of the Storm BlizzCon opening weekend, the World Championship. I'm Anna Prosser-Robinson. So happy to be here with you. We've played lots of heroes already, but guess what? There's lots of heroes to come. We're going to get right into this next match. I'm going to introduce you first to our blue team. They were the champions coming out of the Americas region, and they still have not lost yet today. It's Cloud9. To complete this match between Americas and Europe, to find out which meta is stronger, or at least which team is better, we're welcoming our red team. It's Dignitas. Now, commentators, I know we have some representation at the desk from both of these regions. Do we have a little bit of a rivalry going on? What are your predictions? Let's hear them.
Thank you, Anna. I think that's definitely correct, and we get to fuel the internet for a few more days in terms of who is better in terms of Europe and NA, because in the end, of course, one series means everything.
Oh, yeah. Except if Europe loses. Then it doesn't mean that much. This is just one match in the grand scheme of things.
You know, though, I got to say I'm so proud of all of these teams. They've shown us great games so far today, and just great results so far. If seeing NAEU for our winners match today, I couldn't be happier.
Now, this is actually the first time on such a grand scale that we're seeing Europe versus NA, if I'm not mistaken. If you look at the other tournament, the MSIMJ, we had the Koreans actually facing America a lot, but the Europeans fell to Korea before they could face North America.
We did see Team Liquid face off
in
versus
the third
Cloud9,
yes.
And Cloud9 stomped them. So, will we see a similar result?
To be fair, those were terrible drafts. Anyway, moving on here through this. Obviously, we do start things off with Cloud9. Having done so well in their first series, 2-0, there were maybe a little potential for throws here and there, of course, Jake. But
yeah, of course.
They still did well.
Hey man, it's going to be a fun rivalry. Obviously, we're all very friendly with each other here, loving both the NA and EU drafts, and honestly, we've seen some crazy styles out of both of them, so I'm just pumped to see what they have in store for us.
Yeah, well, for now, of course, then on the other side of things, Team Dignitas, hailing from Europe, doing very well for themselves. They had a prolonged best-of-3 series to start things off, that's for sure, Grubby. But they were able to prevail after a lot of people kind of, at the start of the series, doubted their position in that one.
Yeah, it's great to be critical of yourself, even in victory. They did win 2-1, but it could have been a 2-0. And there were some mumbles and grumbles where they were saying, like, we could have done better, we could have done a 2-0 or made it look better. But advance is what mattered, and that kind of critical look helps to evaluate how they want to move forward here against Cloud9.
And really, how do you expect these guys to match up against one another? We've already seen crazy things coming out, even in our last series from Navi, who Navi just like to dictate the pace of any series they go into, any game that they go into. Dignitas has kind of been the pupil of that in the European scene, trying to adapt to that, but then Cloud9 have looked solid in the past in the American Championships, and then obviously in their first series as well.
You know, one of the things I'm really interested about in this matchup is the fact that both of these teams play Morales, the newest hero, the newest support, and she has a really different kind of impact than the other supports. She can really encourage very aggressive play, Stimpack drone, or going with the dropship, the medevac.
Yeah,
just gives you so much mobility and such a scary presence you have for the entire team on the battleground.
All right, well, we can actually go into the draft here to start things off for this best-of-3. And don't forget, guys, this is an important one because the winner of this best-of-3 is guaranteeing themselves a spot in the top 4 in the semi-finals at BlizzCon on day 3 of all the proceedings overall. So that is already a fantastic start for these teams if they're able to gain some momentum here.
That's very true, Kalaris. But of course, the loser also still has a chance to advance in second place, but that will not be known today yet. So today we will be looking at some guaranteed victory for one of these to the top 4. Starting out with the bans, Team Dignitas is going to start with a ban on Uther, and Cloud9 coming up with the Tyrael.
So Dig and Navi have both been talking about some secret strat that involves Tyrael, from what I understand. This is what Cloud9 said to me. So they don't know what this strategy is, and that's definitely a respect ban.
And they don't want to know.
I think it's not even secret anymore, guys. It's sanctification with a lot of power behind it, and nothing dies. Yeah. So I think that's already the good, strong respect here, seeing the fact that Tyrael has gone away. Sanctification is just brutal to deal with now.
Yeah, I better not tell about my special strat with 4 melee assassins and sanctification. Let's just skip right past that.
All right, well, Jaina as that first pick, no surprise whatsoever. Obviously, she's largely considered to be the top assassin in the game.
Yeah, she couldn't fit into
wrongly played if she's a melee assassin.
I almost said that. But she can definitely fit into any composition, right? She just is that good all-rounder. Cloud9 picking up Tyrande to start things off, so already kind of an aggressive path forwards from them.
Tyrande was very popular. Oh, okay, let's just talk about these two together here.
Right.
2 off supports, that's all you need. You don't need like a solid hard support. We saw the Chinese team YL trying her as a solo healer, but here we've got Tassadar bringing Plasma Shield. 5-second cooldown, stronger shield on allies, and has a number of other support-like talents like Oracle. A large area around Tassadar is periodically revealed when you use it, and also potentially Force Wall, really controlling the battleground.
Super powerful on a map like this on Cursed Hollow, where you're trying to seal off sections of the map where things are already very, very narrow anyway. So it can be extremely powerful here against Tassadar.
I'm just still kind of shocked that we're seeing Tyrande first pick. She was banned out, I think, in both games from GIA in the first matchup of today. So just scooping her up before she can be taken away from them. K1 Pro is quite scary on that hero.
And Navi already went for the start of Tyrande. They're very, very well known for it. Cloud9 here likewise. Such a strong pick. Even after the patch, she was good before patch, but now after, she's got so much strength behind her. And already Abathur coming out here for Team Dignitas, which does couple up again with Jaina very, very nicely, but this is usually something that gets banned against Team Dignitas early on, so you can't get away with everything.
It's because Cloud9 was acting special there with Tyrael, did not want to see the pocket strategy, that's a term we use for special ones, hidden from the opponent heretofore. Muradin now one of the most popular warrior picks here. It's also great to pick Muradin because he has one of the few warriors functions really well as a solo warrior, because he's very tanky, he's got stuns for days with Avatar and Stormbolt, which means that you don't need 2 overlapping warriors who have like a little bit less of disabling effects that Muradin has, so he can't stand on it by himself.
Wow, the Butcher ban. I'm actually quite surprised to see this again. Very unique bans. And Dignitas worried about the force wall hook potential. It's a really powerful synergy that exists with those two heroes, especially on this map. There's so many walls where you can throw the hook over, possibly Stitch's best battleground of overall. And, you know, just really intelligent drafting so far.
I'm just sad two of the prettiest characters got banned in that second ban phase there.
Stitch has actually got banned by Team Dignitas against their previous opponents, actually, very, very early on. So even if it's not to couple up against some kind of potentials like that, it seems like they really don't want to play against Stitches in multiple of these series.
Yeah, sure. Now Cloud9 going with Leoric. We've either got more battlefield control. You have something called Cork the Wine Bottle, a strategy where you make an entomb and then you force wall it off, and the contents remain fresh, except of course if you attack them.
Yes.
But he could also just go for March of the Black King.
And Sylvanas is going to be the next pickup here for Cloud9. So really going for actually having Wailing Arrow available to them here. With the kit, obviously, Sylvanas does have. It's actually not bad, technically, going up against something like an Abathur, which is a split soak. If you are really aggressive with the Sylvanas, you can get yourself into a good experience lead where then the soak of Abathur becomes less and less powerful.
Sure, you can also blow up the minion waves with the Black Arrow. Another thing Sylvanas brings, also especially on entomb targets, it's got that Wailing Arrow in Heroic that can be detonated at any point on its trajectory and do a disabling effect, decent damage, yeah, and indeed silence all the heroes that get caught in it.
Also helps them out if Team Dignitas, for example, really wanted to go Illidan here with their Abathur. I don't think they should do, because once Metamorphosis goes down, Wailing Arrow, kaboom, you're dead. It's a scary thing to deal with.
But what do they want to put that Abathur hat on? Of course, having Abathur for the split soak is phenomenal, right? You can go Evolve Monstrosity or Ultimate Evolution, but generally you want to have a target that's going to get a lot of value on the hat, and Sonya ends up being that hero.
So what support do you take? I like Malf with Murden. Murden is mana hungry, and also with Abathur you like sustained fights. So you're just going to be like very pokey and stay back, but that doesn't couple as well with Sonya. You would maybe expect even Brightwing is possible, but also Karazim.
Yeah, still go Karazim here for Team Dignitas. Definitely, that will be their last pickup here. So we all know, we've said it many, many times, Bakery's good on that hero.
He is legendary on Karazim. I'd go as far to say he's probably the best Karazim out there. Maybe Mary Day contesting him in that, but
he's not in the World Championship.
He is not.
That does
courtesy of Team DK. Now, Cloud9 doesn't have to take a support. They pretty much can take any character in the game, which they think is also good. So no Gazlo, probably, but we could see a second warrior. We could even see an assassin. Technically, there have no assassins been picked yet.
Ooh, I like that. Going up against a Muradin and Sonya here, just kind of right-clicking on them and getting good to go. I really, really like the Reyna in that choice.
It's pretty funny because they have three really good damage dealers, Tyrande, Tassadar, and Sylvanas, but they didn't have an assassin yet. So now they have 4 backline damage dealers. He's buffing all of them. And then we've got single Leoric.
And we can't forget about Giant Killer when he goes sees a marksman. Just shredding Sonya alone, he's a great counter to that hero.
Yeah, I think it's a smart pick by Cloud9. It's very, very aggressive, very high damage. Love it. Can't wait to see how that turns out.
Really interesting comps overall. The thing for me that stands out is that Team Dignitas doesn't even need to commit to something like an Abathur teamfight build. They could still go Mind build on this map, cause real problems for any kind of rotations that go along, and then just use the Ultimate Evolution on Jaina to say, haha, we have a Jaina that doesn't care about dying. So it's still a really, really powerful choice for them if they want to change things up here with Abathur.
Yeah, I think Vile Nest is almost a given. It's so good. 4-second, 50% slow. Still expect to see Adrenal Overload coming out here, maybe Sonya attack speed, but we're going to have to wait and see. There's lots of options to do.
All right, well, we are very, very close here to our game number 1. Don't forget to join us on Twitter, guys, with the @esportsheroes, as well as hashtag Heroes WC, and make sure to also include the hashtag for any of these teams that you think is going to prevail and move on towards the semi-finals. For now, though, we can get into game number 1. Thank you very much, Jake. We'll be checking with you later on after the game, but we already get into Cursed Hollow for our first match here between Cloud9 and Team Dignitas. To the left-hand side, it will be Cloud9 here with Trinh going to be playing on Tassadar, Fan will be playing on Sylvanas, iDream on Reyna, K1 Pro is on Tyrande, and finally King Caffeine is on Leoric. And then to the right-hand right-hand side, we have Team Dignitas with ADRD on Abathur. We have Arthuro going to be playing on Sonya, Bakery on Karazim, as always, Snitch on Jaina, and finally Zarmany is on Muradin.
Now, first thing that we can see here, which is something to note, is the first pick for Raynor. He went for heal me more, give me more, in fact, instead of seasoned marksman. See a lot of seasoned marksmen, especially against more than one warrior, so I'm a little surprised at it, but I'm not saying it's wrong. Like, he just wants to stay alive better. He doesn't have like a hard carry support like Uther or Karazim, so if he gets focused, all there is like one Q from Toronto, which is a heal, and one shield. So he wants to make sure that he can take care of himself. As long as he's alive, he's giving attack speed bonus to all his allies.
Yeah, definitely. And you really don't want to lose out on that kind of damage in these team fights later on. Raynor is going to be providing big numbers if he's allowed to keep himself alive.
See some mid and top rotations by the teams, making sure not to miss any XP, but still clearing minion waves rather quickly. Sentinel revealing there that Jaina is rotating top, so Tyrande, Sylvanas, Tassadar know that they shouldn't push too hard, and will be backing off a bit here.
I think Team Dignitas is probably going to respect Cloud9 quite a lot coming into this game. Back in EU, we always hear a lot about the big heavy hitters from the American scene, the Tempo Storms, the Cloud9s. We always hear about how aggressive they can be with their rotations to try and pick you off. So I think Dignitas is really going to give them some respect.
Now the interesting part here is one of the things you mentioned is the Sylvanas push. Oh, hold that thought. Fan managed to get away with the Banshees. But one of the cool things is like when you take Sylvanas against Abathur and you pressure a 3-man lane, that leaves Abathur needing to solo soak.
Exactly, yeah.
So he's garnering experience here and he's using creative ways, using Symbiote as well as his body. But he's up against iDream, one of the best moving assassins in the world, and he's trying to take down those symbioted minions ASAP as fast as possible, making sure that Abathur doesn't get 100% of the experience from bottom lane. So that's a nice little small thing.
Symbiote on towards Arthuro. We'll have to back on out here. That's quite a lot of damage that they're already taking, and they are managing to get out of there. Snitch goes back in for a cheeky ice lance, but I don't think you should be doing that too much.
That frostball, it's just out of range. It was a bit angry that he got dropped that low. ADRD now not losing any XP, as you can see the minions are just now starting to drop low and he's coming in there. He's playing a bit of a risky game, but it's not too risky because Raynor has no stance.
The early game here for their composition, it's not really the most ideal here for Team Dignitas, but they very rarely get the opportunity to play at Abathur here on Cursed Hollow. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get to play it here on the international stage. But that's a good rotation out towards him. King Caffeine under a lot of pressure. He does Wraithwalk out on there. Bakery's not going to pursue further. Look at that Hunter's Mark, just as he was darting in, knowing that if he'd have gone any further, he would have taken damage.
Yeah. Sylvanas never moved to the bottom. They were lucky that Raynor was able to capture it as easily as he did, because she just meant to pressure the top lane. One of the problems is against Abathur, if you... wow. Really cool level 4 talent there on Abathur. What's that? The Prolific Dispersal or the Ballistos Force? You can't actually see from the icon. But really cool is that Abathur, if the enemy 5-mans a tribute, Abathur can just go to the top lane, use his body to soak, and still help his allies. And we see it is in fact Prolific Dispersal, not taking the bonus damage at level 1 with the Nest, but he did go for Prolific Dispersal, which means Vile Nest is all but a guarantee at level 7.
Yeah, going for the extra little bit of damage talent at level 1 as well means that you can still be involved in the team fights later, because you'll see even more build towards that level 13 and 16. But this kind of build with those Vile Nests later on, in choke points on this map, creates such a headache to be moving around and stuff like that, especially if all forts are still up on either side, because there's such narrow paths you actually get to move through in the middle of the map.
Yeah, you really slow down enemy rotations, warning your allies every time. I like that he still went for Spike Burst at level 1 though, combining with maybe the Envenom Spikes later or the healing at level 13.
Yep.
Soma Spheres.
Definitely think those are going to come in. Definitely. Look at the
so many nests.
Look at the minefield already that has been set up here. King Caffeine tries to Wraithwalk away, but he got slowed instantaneously by that mine. Gets picked up as well. He's going to take a lot of damage. Wraithwalk is still off cooldown. He's trying to buy time, but it's not going to be enough, and he will fall. Team Dignitas takes first blood.
That was a toxic nest skill. That was a Vile Nest skill. Very cool to see that come into effect. He's going to come back quickly though. Tassadar poking with the Psionic Storm from the top, interrupting the capture point, and suddenly, look, all the C9, they have full life and mana. Dignitas needs to get out of here.
it's going to be a little bit difficult.
All they should do is poke. They should not fight. Oh, this is risky for them.
Bakery's so low already.
Yeah.
And ooh, even actually being drained a little bit there by King Caffeine.
Of course, this is good. They didn't lose anybody, which means Abathur's getting more time at the top to push the Siege Giants as well to get some XP. So it's good that they made it last at least, doing some poke. But I was just afraid for them that they would die there. But that was well done by both teams, in fact.
Yeah, overall, gaining that a little bit of experience is okay. Of course, though, that's evening up here as the waves kind of hit one another. And also, there's nobody down towards the bottom that's actually soaking any of that.
Yeah, and this is not stoppable by 1 or even 2 heroes. We've got 4 heroes rotating downwards. In the meantime, Tassadar pressuring the Abathur. He's backing off now.
King Caffeine buying time for the little bot lane to actually do more damage.
Very smart. Very smart. Maybe they got that healing fountain there on the bottom fort. Defense has been successful.
So if you can slow down 2 for the price of 1, that is good here for King Caffeine. And we'll have these cleaned up just a little bit. That starts up towards the top against Abathur, so eventually you'll probably be able to spot him with Oracle, etc. His exact positioning, but not much it can be done. Storm is not going to kill off in Abathur quickly enough.
Yeah, exactly. Not without Force on. Anyway, he could burrow away. Both teams taking the Bruiser camp. We've got battle momentum on Tyrande, which means she could do that Sentinel as quickly as she did. Now, 2 tributes have been captured for Cloud9. What would it mean if they get the 3rd?
It's going to mean that they are cursed, buddy, and that is not a good position for them to be in, especially since level 10 is about to approach as well for Cloud9.
Difficult moment for Dignitas here as they're trying to stave off the enemy, stave off Cloud9.
Slowed down. There's a good little Sentinel, though, to be able to push on forwards and slow that down.
Simultaneous level 10, practically.
All right, so what do we have? We have a Hyperion coming in, as well as Entomb, Force Wall, Wailing Arrow, and Shadowstalk. They're going to try and go for this already. Shadowstalk's been popped. What they're going to be able to do here against Team Dignitas. Snitch is in a little bit of a spot, but ADRD does already throwing down the ultimate evolution on towards Jaina. I don't think C9 really wants to take this fight just yet. They're force walling out, make sure they're going to try and delay for as long as possible. They have to just wait until the Jaina has ran out, the ultimate evolution Jaina, and then just go back in for the proper fight.
Yeah, there's still about 8 seconds, maybe 5 seconds left on that Jaina. Is being zoned out, even killed. Giving a bit of XP, or maybe she timed out, but that's it. Ultimate evolution is gone, so now only Symbiont is going to be adding something to this. Now, keep in mind, Abathur is still getting experience at the bottom, so that's something.
Mines continue to try and be laid down at the front of all of this here by ADRD to slow their opponents down, but Dignitas just trying to scramble for this one, and still the delays come out here. This is really good stuff. Watching C9.
And Bakery, oh, they cancelled it again with the Haunting Wave from Sylvanas, now using Shadowstone.
They're never going to get a tribute. This is how it's going to go.
No one ever is.
So much poke here from Cloud9.
Now, the Bruiser Cap was pushing in the middle, and Abathur at the bottom. I would say it's equal. No one under too much time pressure. Sylvanas now starting to attack the middle fort. She could just get the fort here.
Yeah, she could.
No one is in position to stop her.
If they keep buying as much time as they are around this tribute, because the thing is, Dignitas has to commit to this location. They cannot let. And there you go, once again. King Caffeine comes in from the right-hand side, and Snitch is very, very far forwards. He's actually been able to blow off Reyna, though. So that trade was very close for Snitch, almost died himself. He may as well be dead at the moment for this kind of team fight. They actually chase down on towards Seung-Chul and pick him up as well.
God, that was so close.
Wow.
Snitch coming away with a sliver of his life. No more than 40 health points. And now the triple kill on Cloud9. Up until that moment, Cloud9 did it so well. Oh, can he get the kill? Oh, Wailing Arrow! Cannot use his escape, but...
Take it away. Even in Venom.
Okay,
that is it. Dead Abathur. Sorry, Sluggy. Even
the Exterminator has gone.
At least that's a consolation prize for what happened during all of that. That was 3 kills going over to him in the most crazy of situations. Dignitas now, though, has themselves at least a tribute. But look at how long Cloud9 were delaying that for.
Yeah, it was very well done. Now, again, Sylvanas taking that time here to take down the bottom fort, removing some of that health there, and no one there ready to protect yet. Can't help but think that the Sentinel is giving a lot of bonus information. You get the entire fort, Haunting Wave away, but the Toxic Nest! Right. That should be Sylvanas, no?
It should be. Going to end up getting blown up there as Zomni moves forwards with that Dwarf Toxic, able to pick up the kill very quickly with the damage following up behind it. And the thing is as much Sylvanas did die off before, I still think she's done a great job of equalizing up any experience that Abathur has soaked up because she can just do so much structural damage quickly.
Yeah, it's really good that if you get the boss later, you can go straight to keep, so lots of advantages there. But this tribute. Now, this is not a must-take tribute for Cloud9. Toxicness, there's no Wraith Walk anymore. This is a potential kill on Lyubomir.
Will it happen again? He jumps across here with somebody. Oh, I think it'll be a little blow. King Caffeine, it looks like they will. All of these nests causing big problems here for C9. As
There's another one.
Oh, Arthuro comes in with a flank as well. C9 with losing themselves iDream. And there's the Force Wall to keep Dunk Train alive, but 7-1 takedowns here. 14 Dignitas. They're playing pretty impressively with this comp.
Yeah, these toxic nests are so well placed and getting a lot of kills here. Every time the Leoric uses Wraithwalk, you know from practice, as Leoric, whenever you get in a tough situation, you use Wraithwalk to run away. But he keeps running into a nest right after. Like, how is Abathur able to predict? ADRD predicting so well where those nests are needed, and they keep getting kill after kill from it.
2 for 2, and they're going to go for the boss here. This is going to be scary here for Cloud9 unless they properly realize what is going on. Send an owl across. There's already this minefield anyway, so they need to start their own boss over the other side, but I don't think they even have. So now this could be double boss here if Cloud9's not careful. Oh, no, this is too far gone anyway.
All right, that's a trading boss. Dunk Train a little bit low there on the Tassadar. Might have to get healed up a bit by Tyrande. Now, this is a curse point for either one. There's bosses pushing. Abathur can do a measure of defense at the keep print, maybe. He's staying close for now so that he can put tactical locations. He doesn't have the global talent for Toxic Nest, so he needs to be somewhat near. But look for him to maybe... Well, first he's going to copy, and then he's going to try and defend the boss. But actually, it's the blue team that's cursed. So this boss...
Curse ever. They got that very easily.
Yeah. Should it have been as easy as that?
I don't know. There was not really too much of a struggle about it all. Maybe they were worried that nests were always going to cause them problems if they were to move forwards against it. But there weren't actually any nests there really in reality at all. So pushing on forwards with this Curse Hero team, Dignitas, they are doing pretty well for themselves. But obviously they've only got themselves an Abathur at the back to defend their against their boss.
Yeah, it's going to maybe take down a tower at most, and that's about it. So zooming back to the action there, level 16 is within reach. And as they take down this wall, they will just about reach that. So how are they going to use it? Maybe use the Bruisers to buffer a keep assault. It's got 20 seconds for a curse. During this curse, enemy fortifications do not fire at you. And the minions all have 1 HP, so it's easy and free XP. And no natural defenses, no defender's advantage except for that healing fountain, which is almost down.
Now, the thing is,
5 seconds left.
Oh, they're actually going pretty far there as Athero towards some damage at the front, but I think they're going to have to back one out for now. The thing is, the one advantage that they don't have in these really aggressive team fights is that they don't have Abathur nests to complement any of the fights that they've had in the middle of the map.
That's
so
a good point.
It's a strength that isn't going to exist when they're being hyper-aggressive.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. That gives a lot more confidence to Cloud9. And yet they were able to bait out Hyperion. A long heroic cooldown, 70 seconds, which means, well, not during the next tribute, but certainly during the next wave clashes, they will not be out.
Cleaning up these easy camps, getting that hard camp pushing on through the middle here with the Knights. So just kind of, they already stole their opponent's Knights, so it's a pretty good position here so far for Dignitas. And we have now the level 16 talents coming in for Cloud9, so at least they won't be fighting at some kind of disadvantage. And interesting to note, while all these talents that have gone on here, Reyna did go for double barrel as well as bullseye. So having the double stuns available to you can oftentimes catch your opponents off guard. Luckily for EU, they're very used to playing against that nowadays.
Yeah, it's really powerful. Like, the only 2 ranged stunning heroes are Kael'thas and Tyrande, but Falstad and Raynor can join those ranks if they skill the right way, if they choose the right talent at level 16 with that bullseye. 2 1.5 second stuns potentially if you hit the skill shot. It's a very thin line, it's not as easy to hit as some of the abilities in the game. But if he hits Sonya, that's only 0.75 seconds if she has her heroic on, which is Wrath of the Berserker. It increases her damage output and also reduces all crowd control effects against her by 50%. So look for Athero to shrug that off a little bit more easily on the Sonya there.
And Sonya with a level 16 imposing presence coming in, yes, it will help out a lot against a Reyna auto attack, but it's not even the heaviest of auto attack builds anyway here for Reyna. So Reyna's going to have a really difficult time of getting anywhere with these warriors. He really needs to be flanking, really needs to be finding squishier targets.
We haven't seen much Entomb yet, and I think we can credit Dignitas to not getting called out against some kind of Entomb trap, like particularly Jaina. So yeah, we haven't seen like big 5v5, everyone down on one side. Very respecting each other, really. All keeps are still up. There's been no major team wipes. Just a pick off here and there now as Cloud9 is filtering in here. Walking into Toxicness, that's one, but they will reveal the rest of the Toxicness. Nice use of Aleksandr's ability there.
Very, very important. They don't really have to be using it for much more than that. Obviously, there's no stealth here. Shadowstorm goes in and down. Now, speaking of stealth, and King Caffeine's going to walk forward straight into the more of things, in towards this tribute location. He does Wraith walk away. ADRD here. Look at him, ever so fearless, the ultimate evolution, and already going on to K1 Pro, who's gone quite low here. Meanwhile, this fight is all over the place. K1 Pro keeps himself alive up towards the top, and Dig towards the bottom. Didn't really do too much against Cloud9 at all, so it was no losses either side.
Sure, the ultimate evolution was killed, didn't expire, so that's 1/4 of a hero's experience attributed to Team Cloud9, but in the meantime, they used that to actually capture the tribute.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest at the very end of this game if we ended up looking at the numbers and seeing Abathur on the highest damage out of the entire team, because he ends up, when you ultimate evolution a Jaina and you have no fear, that's when Jaina's at her very best. It doesn't matter if I die at the
fight. You can flank without the risk.
Yeah, exactly. It's brutal, and that's why you end up seeing him in a huge damage number compared to most.
Sure, we just checked that, and you are quite right. More than 20% more damage than any other hero on the team on Abathur there, ADRD. Also double the experience soak of some of the other heroes, so very MVP-esque feeling there for ADRD on the Abathur. Shadowstalk has been used,
and already Zami was rotated in there to actually walk on in first. So very, very important. And two, and Arthuro stuck in here with this, but at the same time he's well after the Berserker. It's going to be difficult for them to bring him down. Caffeine is very low. They get themselves the first, but at the same time, Caffeine has gone. Zami jumping forward here to look for more. If they can do big damage here while the curse is on point, then at the same time, the curse is going to do very little. They can't take advantage of it.
Sure, the red team is cursed. Could be red team's best curse ever, even though it's the opponent's curse.
Look at this. They're going to try and do boss down towards the bottom.
Smart.
They know it's so important for them to do here.
They will get it. And they will get it.
That's so good.
If you don't do it now, even though it doesn't make sense, you're not supposed to get it 3v5. If you don't do it now, the opponent will get both, and they'll probably win the game off of it.
Yeah, so they've got to do that. Really smart moves here by Cloud9. And of course, you know, Dignitas was anticipating the idea of going over there, and even a force wall for good measure. Good job by them, Trinh.
Karazim was coming in there. On a scale from 1 to 10, you have 1 second to make that decision to go take your own boss, even though, quote unquote, you're not allowed that boss. And I even questioned that Team Dignitas went for their own boss. I usually feel like when you have map control, and they certainly did with 2 takedowns, you shouldn't go for the easiest one. You should go for the most difficult one.
I get you.
Take the opponents first, and then take your own stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, there could have been a situation there where Cloud9 actually stuck around a bit too long, and there could be even more death on their side. But regardless, they'll clean up this boss down towards the bottom. This one will be cleaned up towards the top, and level 20 talents are in. So Peaceful Repulse, Blink, Rewind, Hive Mind, and Hardened Shield overall, or Ignore Pain, excuse me.
Ignore Pain. The only difference being she can use it while whirlwinding, which is why it has a different name. Now, we see the Divine Repose. For Karazim, that means Divine Palm usually has a 3-second period if you cast it on someone. If the hero would die, if it takes lethal damage, they get revived with something like 2000 bonus HP. Now, if the opponent sees the Divine Palm usage and you activated it too quickly, they can stop damaging that hero and take him down right as the 3 seconds has passed. But Divine Repose says if it doesn't get processed, the ability, 5 seconds later you can try again. And what's really cool about it is you can start changing the way you cast it.
Exactly.
Stop focusing this hero, and then he pulls back at the 3 to 5 second period, and then you can cast it again. Which basically means, like, this hero is never going to go away.
No, exactly. You basically have to go and kill Monk somehow. And Lyubomir goes down again here. King Caffeine not having the best of games against Team Dignitas. They seem to keep catching that Lyubomir, and without him, they don't really have much tank potential at all. It's all on the force wall to try and buy them some time.
Yeah, of course he was doing an important job, but it was a really short taunting way.
Oh no, that's going to cost him a little bit of problems. He manages to get away from all of that. Don't want to go far.
I think Hyperion is used so quickly again. It's I get the panic button moment, but
It definitely seemed that way. With that short haunting wave, and like just wanting to help your teammate.
It was fine. It was going to be fine either way. Aleksandar was coming in and shield him. I don't think you should use Hyperion to peel because it's not going to kill people unless you use it in conjunction with other abilities.
Well, at least Cloud9 for now has bought themselves enough time to get themselves level 22. So it's Harden Shield, double blink,
and he needs Harden Shield.
Oh yes, yes he does. And Kwon Pro, let's see what he's going to go to as well. And still a little bit of apprehensiveness, or like not attention to it, or we'll see. But it's all about this tribute again. And at the moment, there's not really too much urgency about this tribute. There's nobody really towards the curse, but
yeah, no one has a big push going either with mercenary down. So it's all about can we pull the opponent out of position? They're both waiting for an opportunity here. Both Dignitas and Cloud9 is waiting for that telltale sign, which not even all of us may be able to see, but they know you're out of position.
I wonder if Team Dignitas even realize that Hunter's Swiftness has been picked up, because once Shadowstalk goes down, that could be a lot of extra damage coming out here from this composition, especially since Duranda this whole game long anyway has been going for some kind of auto-attack build herself. So Dignitas, Team Dignitas does have to be careful here about when Shadowstalk goes down.
And they're taking a lot of damage, so is Leoric, and here is mount speed, 140% movement speed for everyone on Cloud9, but Leoric will get taken out immediately.
And trying to push on forwards here, iDream's going to end up pushing away. He's going to throw down the Hyperion, but it really didn't do too much at all. They got the kill on towards him as well anyway, and this could be it. This could be Team Dignitas just looking for more kills, powering on through. If they were actually able to go for this keep, they could go for more.
Yeah, this is a 5 versus 3 situation. Leoric is coming back though, and there's no ultimate evolution, so in the standstill before with the Avatar health, Caffeine taking a lot of damage here again.
I think he's going to end up going down. There's the ancient spear just passed to actually try and block him in for as long as possible. King Caffeine goes down, and that is 3 members out, or 2 members still out at the moment here. I keep forgetting Leoric comes back pretty quickly at this stage.
Great play there by Ethereal Angel, going very deep with Sonya, securing another kill on Leoric. Now, the hero level difference doesn't matter as much as you're past 20, but still, it's HP and damage that you gain per level on your character, which is still a difference. 2-level lead here from all the Leoric kills. It's not going to decide the game, but it does have little edges.
This is a difficult tribute for them to fight over as well, because boss is going to get done, and then when they rotate down to try and go for this tribute, which will mean that they're going to be cursed, they have to deal with the boss as well. They need to go now.
I mean, they need to do their own boss and capture the tribute right now as well. But the problem is they need the DPS. Now, see, Train did as much as he can. He's going to capture it. There will not be in time to stop it, Dignitas, but they're going straight for the core. Yeah, this is a 22-minute boss. Keep in mind, boss gets more powerful the later you capture it in the game.
This is cool.
Here they go.
Because now they don't care about bot lane on their side of things. They've got to keep, they've got cushion. Cloud9 is in quite a bit of trouble here unless they're able to blow people up. And again, you know, against Bakery here that has peaceful riposte at level 20, it can be difficult to do something.
King Caffeine taking a lot of damage here. Hardened Shield not being turned on yet. There we go.
Oh, there's that Shadowstalk here to try and get them into a bit of a position, but that was also... Kharazim ends up falling though. The Divine Palm was on towards Athero, which did keep himself alive, but it's 2-for-1 trade. But Irena's gonna fall, so is Duranda. It's 4-for-1. The boss is on the core, and Team Dignitas here is gonna be able to run away with the first game on Cursed Hollow. What a strong performance from them. 18 kills going up against 2. Very, very powerful stuff in this best of 3 group.
Yeah, wonderfully played there by Bakery on the Kharazim, going with the Divine Repose, or can you say Divine, on Sonya, saving her, dying in the process, but making the ultimate sacrifice as Aleksandar, Duranda, and Kwon Pro got taken down there. Wonderfully played by Team Dignitas. A delicious game of Heroes of the Storm, and very immaculate play.
Yeah, really cool to see again these regions matching up against one another. Jake, thank you for joining us once again here. Any moments really in that first game that stood out to you?
Well, I mean, I just got to give ADRD all the props in the world for the Avatar mines. I mean, they had such a huge impact on the early part of the game. And Cloud9, they struggled to get back into it. They tried, they did their best, they were crawling back in, but it really just came down to that one big final engagement. Actually, well, the top portion that we saw the fight over the tribute. So So let's take a look at that and highlight some of the big moments in that fight. So, I mean, a lot of this comes down to the control and the power of Force Wall. You see Force Wall locking out some members, you see the Entomb used in just a moment, and they're trying to control the battlefield, but when they're not able to tie those up together, it's just the over-aggression available here for Dignitas that prevails. You see the Entomb really didn't do a whole lot there, and they're just able to keep marching in. Bolt of the Storm had to be used. Battlecruiser, like Grubby mentioned, not really ever having a big effect on the fight, and just the persistence in the charge in from Sonya, the damage with the Abathur hat and the mines left and right. Jaina sitting there just getting the huge damage, and the clone from Jaina. Double Jaina is so powerful.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about the draft that Dignitas did just worked out flawlessly compared to what we saw from Cloud9.
What do you think about the Leoric solo warrior players that we've seen today?
You know, it's been shaky. A lot of the Entombs just haven't had the impact we've seen in previous games. It seems like teams are getting a lot better at baiting it out. It's not even the Leorics that are faltering, it's the players are really learning how to force Leorics to think they have a big Entomb, and then they just turn it around.
That's true.
I think when Leorics are forced into actually taking Hardened Bones as well as Lingering Apparition and those talents, when they're in this like one warrior composition, it just leaves them in such a in such a poor position, especially if you've got mid-game control like the Mines did in a map like that, where you just like, you're walking into them all the time.
Yeah, there's a big difference between a warrior who is like, oh man, I'm all alone at the front line.
Yeah.
I've got to take all these defensive talents. Now he only does a 40% slow for a short amount of time. Abathur next is already 50% slow for 4 seconds. And then he's got to take all these defensive talents. A comfortable Leoric, he'll be chasing a backline assassin while not caring about his own life. But here suddenly, when he's down, you've got these 4 ranged assassins, support, specialists, and they all have to fend for themselves. Even though it's for a shorter amount of time, it's still too long really for them to feel comfortable about it.
I think though, as you said, big props to ADRD. Do you think probably our MVP of that game?
Oh, easily. I mean, the number of takedowns we saw just from the Mines alone. Sylvanas pushing the bottom fort, Mines just in the path, like forcing them to pop Oracle just to clean up Mines. And it's not even just the fact that they're spending a cooldown to clean up Mines, they're spending time, which gives exact...
slows things so much.
And you know exactly what Cloud9's doing. So suddenly you can posture to try to party bush, set up big plays. I mean, ADRD, he's a god.
He's very, very strong on that hero, and that's usually why it is banned here against Team Dignitas. For now, though, we are going to go to a short break, and when we're back, it will be game number 2 here between Team Dignitas and Cloud9.
I think Dunk Train, as our captain, really brings a lot of stability to our team. We can, on occasion, get a little rowdy or kind of lose focus on what we're really trying to be practicing, and Dunk's really the one to be there and bring it all together and make sure that we stay on track.
What can I say about any of you? The strongest thing about King Caffeine is probably his presence on the team. Everyone relies on him constantly, and he just always performs. iDream's biggest strengths are his capitalization on the enemy's mistakes, I think better than anyone else in the scene right now. ChWimPro's strengths are definitely in the realm of mechanical outplay. That's just a really amazing feeling when you're playing as a team, you're positioning for a 5v5 and then suddenly you hear from the flank, hey, I killed someone, and you're like, yes! I think it's really obvious that Fan just brings the better strategic sense, just capitalizing on the map rotations and strategic things rather than the team fighting itself, which is something that we lacked prior to his addition.
As king, I dedicated my life to Tristram and served its people with all my heart. In exchange, they called me a madman and betrayed me. But I have returned, stronger than ever. These so-called heroes think they can destroy me. But I cannot be killed again. Here in the Nexus, I will have my revenge. I am Leoric, the Skeleton King, and I will only choose allies who I know will never betray me.
funniest moments playing as a team is not actually in a pro game, but in a scrim. We just like started learning medic. We think, oh, he's really strong. And we put the medivac out, right? And then we're like, oh yeah, let's go bot lane. We can take that keep. And instead of going like in front of the keep with the medivac, we flew into the keep and just all died.
Welcome back to here to the Heroes of the Storm World Championship opening week as we get into game number 2 here between Team Dignitas and Team Cloud9. I don't think I've ever said Team Cloud9 before, that's just weird. But we'll go with it for now, Jake.
Yeah, but I mean, really a strong start here from Dignitas. Yeah. I mean, showing that their decision-making, their strategics are top-notch. Constantly looking for party pushing. They dominated the early game and they just steamrolled it into the late game.
Looking at how things are going to shape up as well, I mean, I don't really, whatever map comes along here, Abathur is a hero that can transcend a lot of different maps. So hopefully there is a ban towards that here from Cloud9.
Yeah, he transcends a lot of different rules. If you don't know exactly how he works, he's a very low health hero, very low damage, direct combat not advisable, but he's got that global presence. He can teleport on any visible part of the map in a few seconds using his mount replacement ability. He burrows in and comes up somewhere else. And he also gets experience from locust kills, being somewhere physically with his body, being on a symbiote on an enemy minion. So there's so many things on an allied minion. Just being there. So there's so many things that he really adds. He really changes the rules of the game. That's one thing I actually really like about Heroes of the Storm. Like some really unclassical heroes.
Yeah. When they originally announced Abathur at BlizzCon a couple of years ago, they even said the reason the game has team experience was so they could create heroes like him. He changes the game. He fundamentally changes the way the game works, and he's so powerful in that extent.
You know what the funniest part about that was? Is that when exactly the same time they were like showing Abathur and stuff like that, I thought, that's really silly. But now, oh my god, have I been proved wrong. It's
now
actually,
you're a fan.
It's such a fantastic tool to have in your arsenal if you can actually play something like an Abathur extremely well. And the thing is that it's not even just one build that's strong on him. There are actually a few builds that do fare pretty well. The Mine build is the one that's most common in Europe at the moment, though.
All right, we're starting to be ready for the hero draft. As you can see, what heroes both teams choose to field on the battlefield here on the Infernal Shrines, actually.
Yeah. So let's jump in actually to our draft here for game number 2 between Cloud9 and Team Dignitas. And you're right, Infernal Shrines is our map, which
no surprise there. I think that is a well-warranted respect ban, and ADRD should not be surprised.
No, not at all. Chae gets backed down on the side of Team Dignitas, so they're not really allowing the comfort pick and the jack-of-all-trades of Jaina to come out as that first pick.
Look at Cloud9's first series. I mean, it was a 2-0. They first picked Jaina twice. Just now, Team Dignitas was given Jaina, and now it's like, okay, we don't want you to actually have that one. So, one of the most popular picks here of the tournament.
And the thing is, the way it synergizes between these two teams is Cloud9 can just be like, okay, we first pick Uther, but then Team Dignitas doesn't care about that either, because they can happily go with Karazim and be totally cool.
So you could even think that, given a choice, Dignitas would sometimes pick Karazim over Uther. I have seen him take a lot of Uther as well.
They do, yeah,
but they really don't mind as much as other teams do. Some teams don't even practice much Karazim. So there we go with the Uther, which basically gives Dignitas 2 free picks. Almost.
Yeah,
which is really smart.
In essence. As we already see here, Uther on his abilities, very heavy healing support. A lot of other supports don't really have quite as much healing as he does with Holy Light and Holy Radiance, which Holy Radiance is an interesting one as well, because technically you can buff that up a little bit on a map like Infernal Shrines, which aids in getting some of the extra damage on towards those minions that you also importantly need to kill.
It's also good for people at home to do that with Uther. Cleanse, Protective Shield are a little bit more difficult to use. Still get a lot of value with Holy Radiance buff talents. Usually see the Cleanse. Now, Dignitas, I just wanted to say they do have those 2 quote-unquote free picks, but only because they earned it with amazing
Yeah, when you force out a respect, man, that's exactly what happens. And yeah, like you said, they have a really strong carry team, but you can never deny the power of DungTrain on Uther. I mean, that is by far his best support. So even if they're giving the 2 free picks, it's something that they value, right? They're well aware they're doing that. And I think picking up Uther here is strong. And Kale Thas first pick, they could follow this up with Muradin. They're going to do just that. This is just lockdown. Gravity Lapse plus Storm Bolt. Incredibly strong early game for Team Dignitas.
Yeah, and a good power spike at level 13 with Kale Thas when he gets Chain Bomb on his W talent, spreading the fire to enemy heroes.
And double the purpose, not only picking them up for Team Dignitas, but denying them from Cloud9 as well in case they wanted any kind of stun rotations because they already have Uther. The one thing I'd be scared of now eventually is actually the second ban being Kerosene. So
man,
there's the potential of that.
Sure, but that's true. And then they'll have to take something else. We'll wait and see what. Tyrande, you were talking about denying bans. It makes a lot of sense. Muradin Kale Thas cannot be paired up with Tyrande.
You're either forced to ban her or pick her at this point. And I think picking her when you have K1 Pro as strong as he is good. And they're also in a really good spot. Now, Lyubomir here, that's a neutral pick, right? Entombs, they're good with it. Wasn't necessarily the best Lyubomir played in the last game. But
he's got more protection now.
They've set themselves up in the draft where Kerrigan is like a massive threat. And Kerrigan is a hero that iDream excels on. So if Dig doesn't realize this, it could be bad.
Yeah, it definitely could. And there's ETC going to be banned away here for Team Dignitas. So they've been respecting the, well, what we've been seeing in the past couple of series from a lot of teams, actually.
There's a
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we figured that might happen.
So where does that leave Dignitas?
Now, Bakery plays Medic. And we could totally see that happen, but what is Kerrigan good against? Medic. Very good against Medic. So this is kind of a tough call for Dignitas because they have to realize that, well, Medic is going to be risky if they do, in fact, go for Kerrigan.
Sonya. Medic is pretty good with Sonya, Lieutenant Morales.
Maybe if
Brightwing.
Maybe if they built a really strong front line. Right now they've got Muradin, Sonya. Right now you've got Kale Thas, who normally excels with triple warriors. And if they then went Morales, maybe she has room.
I like it. It's possible. I like it a lot. And she's not going to get picked already to support on Cloud9 side. So Tyrael, one of the best warriors. Holy Ground at level 16 will lock off any of the 4 paths to the objective, so that could really work.
The only slight issue with that, all of that, and like distributing roles would be who plays what, because usually when you see a Sonya on Dignitas' side, it'd be Athero. Usually when you see a Tyrael, it'd be Athero. So maybe there, but there it is, it's Morales.
Ah, nice.
Oh, wow.
Cool. So they still leave the 5th pick open, but let's first look at her kit. The newest added hero, which is currently playable here at BlizzCon opening week, has 3 primary abilities: Displacement, Grenade, a small knockback, Healing Beam, very high sustained healing on a single target, and Safeguard to prevent a huge amount of percentage-based damage for a short amount of time on one of our allies.
Fun fact as well, Caduceus Reactor, her Chae is one of the least upgraded things of all time in StarCraft 2 history. Nobody ever upgraded that.
What was that? Starting energy higher on Medivacs?
It was Caduceus Reactor.
Yeah. And you needed Tech Lab and you always had reactors?
Yeah, it was truly terrible.
Anyone that didn't play StarCraft is so confused right now, but I get you guys.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, well, 2 more picks for Cloud9. We talked about Kerrigan being a big option. They could also go for a double warrior if they want to go for that, because Lyubomir as a solo warrior, it definitely can work, but it's not as common as a lot of the other picks like Muradin or Johanna for solo warrior.
I kind of like maybe Vala and the second warrior, like maybe Tyrael Vala.
Ooh. I would have liked Raynor if our train of thought was to go down where it was previous, but
Zeratul to gank Morales, possibly?
It can work, definitely.
Picking up Zeratul over Kerrigan is still so interesting to me because I just think Kerrigan makes so much sense. Even with Sonya Muradin, she's so good at diving on Morales. And you've got Divine Shield, you've got Lunar Flare, Hunter's Mark, a lot of great synergies. I still would have loved to see her here.
Finally, we need one more pick here for Cloud9 on their side of things to round out. And I'm trying to think what they really want to go for. I mean, technically more damage would be nice. It will be Kerrigan coming out, so the double melee assassin.
That is rare.
That is.
That is well done and rare. Kerrigan there, double melee assassin. It is, it's uncommon, but it has been happening more recently in all 3 regions.
Yeah, it's uncommon in this iteration, for sure. This is not something that we normally end up seeing. Obviously, she has the fantastic ability of Maelstrom available to her. And there's Splinter coupled up with Divine Shield, it's able to keep her alive for a while.
This is very cool. Like Cloud9 is not going straight up against Lieutenant Morales, where they're saying like, okay, we'll mostly peel away the front line as usual. We'll not be able to get through Sonya Murdin that well, but we'll send one guy to his death, jumping on Morales with Divine Shield. But now it's 2 people.
Here's what's so scary. Not only is it 2 people, but Lunar Blaze at level 7. Tyrande can throw Lunar Flares from so far away.
Yes.
Like, it's going to be a dicey battlefield out there for Medic.
Yeah, imagine Tyrande was Kael'thas.
Ooh.
Great, you've got a stun, but you can't get as near.
Guys,
that is smart.
Tassadar comes down, Force Walls, also a Vision on Zeratul.
The best pick by far.
And Morales, she can't heal herself, but Medic can throw those shields out to keep her healthy and alive. And a lot of the times, it's what you need to really get the value out of Morales.
That is quite the draft on both sides here to really determine things. Cloud9, at the moment, they're up against it. They are down 1-0 here in this best of 3, but with the draft that they have just brought out, and Morales being on the other side, Medic better be careful.
Yeah, it's
gonna play safe.
Really cool draft from both sides.
Yeah,
I love it. Like, this is going to be a really unique game. We'll probably rarely see a draft like this again, so we don't really know how that's going to work out.
Exactly, we're just going to have to let it unfold in front of us and see what's going on.
We'll tell the story.
At least we have Tassadar to try and protect at the back there and help out from with Force Walls to see if that is going to help out. Of course, we'll be getting into the game here in just a moment. So we've had a lot of games throughout the day. It's been a fantastic day of Heroes of the Storm. Watching all of these regions battle against each other, it's basically the proper first time that you get this level of talent across the board from the entire world, in essence. But for now, guys, we can jump into game number 2 here between Cloud9 and Team Dignitas. Load up onto the Ethernal Shrine. To the left-hand side, it is Cloud9 with Train on Uther, Van on Zeratul, Nydream on Kerrigan, K1 Pro on Tyrande, and finally Team Caffeine will be playing the Leorian. And to the right-hand side, currently 1 game up in this best of 3, we have ADRD on Tassadar. Athero will be playing himself. Sonya Bakery is on Lieutenant Morales. We have Snitch playing Kael'thas. Finally, Zarmony will be on Muradin.
Prolonged Safeguard, level 1 talent choice for Morales. Keeping someone up for longer. Can be herself. It's the safest level 1 talent she has for herself. Advanced block being the one on level 4. Same way he picked before. So does make a lot of sense. Sentinel revealing, a 5-man mid.
Still just going to try and block things out, similar to how we've been seeing Navi do it. Actually, it's only been really the European teams, correct me if I'm wrong, that have been going for this.
I'm not sure, but I was thinking of something else. Remember the tip from C9? Don't level 1 die as Morales.
Oh, yes, yes.
Looks like Bakery's taking it to heart.
Well done.
Not being part of a 5-man
Not even there. Doesn't bother.
Yeah, just doesn't want to die at level 1. Level 2 maybe, but level 1 he draws the line.
He's true apothecary Morales this time. Gets caught.
Concussive grenade. Run away. Oh.
Whoa, 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 whoa. This went a bit crazy. No, level 1. It's over.
Oh.
The thing is he wasn't even in that dire a position, and then all of a sudden it just kind of came out of nowhere.
He wasn't even like Dunk Train dumb.
No. Is this what we have to see now? Is this the thing? Is this BlizzCon?
But to be fair, Dunk Train didn't die again after that.
That's true.
It was just level 1, so we've got all the bad luck out of the way. It's kind of your touch wood moment.
If that's the case, it might be a 2-0, man. But anyway, for now...
Whoops.
Lieutenant Morales going down. And it's kind of unlikely, really, to have these lapses, as he is one of the very best supports coming out of Europe.
He's just chilling up there.
Yeah.
Didn't expect some kind of escalation there.
Not at all. As I say, man, the Apothecary skin is fantastic on it. Do you know what it's based on? It's from the World of Warcraft universe, where Grand Apothecary, Futress, and all the members.
What class of character is that?
It was an undead. It was an undead chapter that were trying to basically plague the land for a little bit, and they did a great job.
Plaguing the land?
Yeah, they did great.
Objective here, starting to get fought over. We've got level 4 coming out here for Cloud9. That's going to give them a talent advantage. Whoop. And Zarmony with the chain stun will get taken down.
Too many follow-ups. That's 2-0 here for Cloud9. A great start for them. And the thing is that yes, once again, we're back to that position where their composition really is so much better in the early game, and they can really seize these shrines early on. And on a map like this, if you do gain control of the early game, it can be difficult to wrestle it back.
Yeah, I think the first two Immortals aren't that strong, but they do often secure the third one.
Yes.
The XP lead. You get 1 or 2 turrets, that's kind of enough. They look as big as ever, but they're not as strong at level 1. Now, AD, RD, and Fan, 2 Protoss locked in a deadly struggle for survival.
And the interesting thing is that this first one is going to be a Frost Punisher, a Frozen Punisher. So already with that coming along, it does pose a big threat. They already have a lot of lockdown and stun.
As if they needed any more towers.
Exactly, yeah. So they need to bait this one off the wall. He will jump on forwards there. They try and go for the combo onto Athero, but they're well prepared.
And that was a little bit off on the timing. Trinh going for the sweeping grasp there. Lunar Flare coming late. Got 4 heroes here. Zeratul doing the 2-man experience.
That's ambitious. That's ambitious. They're trying to go on towards Sonya here to try and do something. iDream gets himself a combination, but not they follow up. Doesn't try and do much with it at all. As it's still the Wraith Walk on out here. I think he wants to keep himself alive.
Just to reassure you, yes, iDream knows how to do the Kerrigan combo. He just must have been off of cooldown on one or the other, or hoping for a Lunar Flare follow-up on one of them. Has been using those talents separately, not being able to get the Impaling Swarm. Now, here at the bottom, Kerrigan looking to do maybe a backstab on this cap here. Got a 4 versus 4. Zarmany jumps out.
Whoa, and being able to take that away, that's brilliant here for Cloud9. Also, a lot of people out there rooting for Cloud9 still, despite them being 1 game down at the moment. 86% of you guys out there on the Twitterverse. As for now, Cloud9, they have a really, really good start in this game at least.
Funny thing about that siege camp, those gnolls there, they all go to the mid lane on this side, but on the left side they go from either side, behind the fort, from the fort, sometimes.
Interesting as well, level 7 Paralyzing Rage coming out from the Oryx, and not something that you see as much of. Usually you see it coupled up with Renewed Swing later on, to then really hurt your opponent's movement speed when it comes to those team fights.
Yeah, we see a lot of Ghastly Reach coming out from Leoric. Yeah, he's dead.
It was a nice attempt to juke.
Nice try, Mecha Tassadar. Yeah, I was just saying, we see a lot of Ghastly Reach, 25% bigger range on Leoric. Instead, he's going for the 60% slow. Also, Tassadar going with the static charge there, bonus damage rather than something like Kala's Brace, like, or the longer deep shift ability where he gets a 1.5 second bonus invisibility.
Good escape out there from Dunk Train towards the left-hand side. And one thing that we still continue to see here from Cloud9 is that they do go for follow-through again here on Zeratul, compared to the first aid that we see a bit more commonly in the European scene. So they really want to pump out big, big damage here with their Zeratul.
Kerrigan taking a lot of heat here. iDream will be able to do a nice combo on 2 heroes, but it's not going to be enough. Will get taken down. Actually, I think the first aid trend started in Korea, and Europe copied it for a bit.
Yes.
I wonder if they knew why they copied it, because it seems a bit weird, but it's like when you take first aid, you get better Void Prisons, roughly. Like, that's roughly the reason, I think, because you're always high health, which means you can place them. But now that Zeratul changed a bit, has a shorter range on this Void Prison cast, yeah, he, I don't know, that maybe that changed again, so he just wants to do more damage.
Yeah, it makes sense either way. And we have now the Mortar Punisher going to be contested against here. Neither team really super active about moving towards it. Team Dignitas is really not too keen about going over there at all. With level 10 hitting here for them, it will be Shadowstalk, Divine Shield, Void Prison, and we have Maelstrom. And finally, I'm wondering if he's going to deviate away from Entomb.
I think it's going to be Mark, probably. Solo Warrior, he has to take care of himself. His Divine Shield goes to his 2 melee assassin buddies. I'm not saying it has to be. Nice kill there on Kael'thas, but I'm just feeling March. We've got 2 frontliners, Emerd and Sonya. Would love to get some swings from that Black March.
Force Wall, Wrath of the Berserker, Medevac. We're seeing Phoenix as well, and Avatar coming in as well. Bakery was leaving for a moment. I think he was going to Medevac back in just to get himself back into the fight. Somehow he would just play out of right wing, I suppose, and use it in that kind of capacity. Not really using it to...
I don't know, he was full life and mana. I almost feel like it was like... he got revealed and then was baiting or something? I'm not sure.
Maybe. It was a little bit odd, that's for sure. But regardless, Mortar Punisher going over towards Cloud9 now. And hopefully we'll use that. Push from forward. It's interesting to bait it across the wall, though. Even Arthur getting himself a cheeky easy camp during all of that. They do bait it across the wall. And
Lyric still hasn't picked. He's using that to hide information. Oh, Void Prison!
There's the Maelstrom going down here from Cloud9, and maybe they'll be able to do something with Drive Shield's been thrown down. iDream realizes he can't stick around there for too much longer. Nobody's gone down just yet, and it was much of the Black King actually being picked up all the while during this. There's another combo going down on towards Sonya. She's going to end up falling. A great little turnaround there for Cloud9.
Yeah, she was really deep in, and now King Caffeine coming with the chase here. Starting to use his Q ability there to slow. Great hope.
Great Lunar Flare overall to really catch that out. But in the end, you know, they can't really catch too much more. It did a bit far from them in the end.
Excellent game here by Cloud9 for now, using the threat of Kerrigan with the combination of Divine Shield, keeping her safe. DK almost got taken down, but Toronto there with the heal on that Uther, keeping him alive.
Go to the hard camps as well now, as I mean, the majority of the camps have all been done on the side here of Team Dignitas, so they don't really have many opportunities to kind of catch up in that regard. So they'll go for the more neutral camps, or not. They're just looking to wind on around here, but I think it is a good opportunity considering the positioning of their opponent's team.
Now keep in mind that the level disparity here is not a surprise. We're not surprised by it. Keelthal's biggest spike of power at level 13, so that's what they're looking for. Kerrigan, one of the best early game heroes.
Oh, no, why are they
Thank
leaving?
you!
What? Well, that happened.
But to be fair, it's not like he wasn't capturing it long enough. It's just that Leoric reached it early enough. Yeah. And they don't want to force a fight there. It's not worth defending it.
That was brilliant.
That's funny though. Oh, Void Prison on Morales. Morales, Medivac!
Take the breath of the damage there. You don't like himself
Use the Medivac.
Bakery is in such an odd spot. There's the Medivac. Needs to be able to go very, very quickly. That's going to blow up. Oh, that's not going to be any opportunity to get out there at all. It was a nice try, a nice attempt, but get caught off guard. That's what happens when you're Morales.
But they really hurt. C9 running away. Uther gets taken down. Marches the Black King, keeping himself up, but even Uther and the combined healing from that wasn't enough, so it's just a 2-for-1 actually.
ADRD coming in as the second support. They're just dropping shields where they needed to be, so despite Morales having gone down, not too bad at all.
Yeah, really cool. Like, Morales was certainly going to die, but they missed the Lunar Flare there as she came out of it. There was a channeling time for Medivac, and that should not have been able to start. Wrong timing there. So, yeah, they were able to kill Morales, but they had to bust through the entire health bar of the Medivac. 8 for it with 2 lives.
Arcane Punisher coming out now. 18 against 8 at the moment. And Arcane Punisher, I keep alluding to it, but it's such a powerful Punisher compared to potentially even the other two in their entirety.
Yeah. Lots of damage. Now Leoric takes a lot of heat here, but will be Shadow Stalked. He's moving back in with the Drain Hope there. Being chased by Sonya. Keep in mind, Chain Bomb is out. Boom! Goes the Skeletons. That was a Chain Bomb from Snitch.
All right.
He's got not so much mana anymore, but certainly enough to keep up the fight for a little bit more.
If they're able to wrestle this one back here at Team Dignitas, and that's a really good momentum swing. Considering that they lost the previous two, they're going to be able to pick this one up.
Yep.
It is powerful. It's going to move down towards this bottom 4, and they're going to pursue. Oh no, it looks like they're going to pull on back for now. But the thing is that how much is the wall damage? It's damaged to the point where they can't really lure this Punisher into a safe position to deal with it at the same time. Look at Team Dignitas' positioning already. They're ready and waiting to just jump onto anybody that the Punisher does as well.
Yeah, why not? There's no defensive advantage. The forts are all busy attacking bosses. That's how the building AI works. So they've got the attacker's advantage. And I think this is the beginning of a big swing, a big turnaround here for Dignitas. They've reached their power level. They're only 0.8 level behind, no talents behind. They still have the boss. Oh, let's actually keep looking at the fight. There we go. Starting to hammer on that gate. Phoenix there zoning out. Chain Bomb affecting that keep as well.
Yeah. And Dignitas going to back off for now.
Take a breather.
They realize all their other lanes are pushed out pretty heavily while this is going on. They really don't have the cushion of the middle and top 4 left alive against their opponents. So they're going to have to go back and clean things up, get themselves some camps maybe, just kind of play it a bit more defensively. But overall, you know, that Punisher did good for them. Even just denying a Punisher from your opponents in this situation is good.
Yeah, it gave them some experience as well. And as Kerrigan comp, I always say it, you kind of want to be 1 or 2 levels ahead. And if you're against an extremely good late game comp, you want to be 3 levels ahead. No exaggeration. If you're against Azmodan, Raynor, you just want to be 3 levels ahead. And now they're not even a level ahead. So they're going to have to make some amazing plays here. iDream, is he going to make the plays? He is fighting Murden, not the one he wants to be up against. So he's going to move back, wait for an opportunity. Keep in mind, he's got a really long reach with Eviscerate. 40% extra rate on the Ravage, so he can jump in from anywhere. And I would like to see iDream flank a little bit more. I don't think we're seeing enough of it. He's playing like as if he is a Nazeebo, you know, like a backline damage dealer or a warrior. He needs to come all the way from the side, even from behind. If he is in trouble, Uther is there with Divine Shield. If that fails, and it won't, but if it does, Zeratul, Void Prison, they've got a lot of pause buttons.
And
on the fight here.
Flanking is all important against the Morales comp. You need to be able to bring her down. Because if you don't, her healing is just too much. It's actually just too much if you allow her to do what she is able to do. That's the one biggest part of her kit. So much sustained healing on targets at the front. But if you get on top of her, she has very little way of being able to heal herself.
Exactly. And I feel like C9 plays together amazingly, but I feel like they're a little bit new to the double assassin playstyle, which we have seen in Korea, we have seen it in Europe as well, and we've even seen it in NA a bit, but not as much from Cloud9, and so missing a bit of that flanking potential there. The confidence that you can go away really far from your teammates and converge on the enemy at the very exact simultaneous time.
That was a great storm bolt actually going in towards that brush. And our hero really wanted to chase up there with the Ancient Spear and the rest of the Berserker. But now pushing King Caffeine away that much when the Shrine is about to come up. Look how low he is. That's annoying.
45% life.
Yeah. And that was all for free. There was no follow-up damage going on towards Dignitas during her.
But he's getting back in there, but we've got level 16 for both here.
Still look at the positioning here of Team Dignitas as well. You can see that IDRD is covering the potential of flanks here from the melee assassins trying to get on towards Bakery, which is so important.
Yeah, Tessadar has no fear of being taken out.
Something to follow up anything on Surrender there though.
Arcane Barrier used, 60-second cooldown. That's Kael'thas's main protection there, so that's a bit of a win.
Oh, this is a huge push actually towards the bottom.
That's going to kill the keep in about 30-40 seconds.
Yeah, so they should just delay out this fight for the most part. Obviously, they want as many minutes possible. That would be great, especially if they get some blow up. There's the Divine Shield being thrown off. They're going to try and go for Stitch and try to do as much as possible here. Bakery as well as Kael'thas actually get powered down there. They're back for the retreat out. They do not want any more of this. And I think they're going to be able to get away totally fine.
They got to go.
That was the most anticlimactic medevac of all time. I didn't realize it was paid for right there.
Yeah, they didn't want to go back all the way to the core. They just wanted to escape for now. 30 seconds was a bit of an overestimate. They are a bit hurt as well. They're just going to damage the keep thoroughly. Kael'thas still is taken down. He's the main damage dealer there, the main threat. It can escalate a fight out of control with that chain bomb. Sure, Sonya is amazing, but it's Kael'thas who is like the X factor in this fight. So great focusing him there, getting the chain stun on him. And it shows how important it was that they baited out Arcane Barrier before.
That's true.
The double stun.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm wondering how much of the wall is still intact here in the mid lane. I think it should be intact, yeah. So they do have the option to try and kind of pull this away from them.
Murden, Sonya, or Tassadar can take the boss on them, and then it will start to take lots of bonus damage. This boss is so happy to jump on someone. There we go. Tassadar. ADRD though! Oh, will be saved.
You saw that blink in there from Fan, just straight on out afterwards there. Just trying to do as much blow-up potential as possible. So they got that clean up pretty nicely, to be honest.
Yeah, the boss, not the smartest creature in the world, jumping into 5 enemies, lacking protection of his allies, and taking full hits from the 3 towers and the keep as well. So that was an easy cleanup.
Yes, it was. We're going to just move on towards their hard camps, either piece here on the sides. So, but still,
whoa,
where are they going?
Oh, the other camp, the one that Uther was at.
Yes, looks like it. Already.
Pretty cool. Nice use of that.
And that could have been really scary because that could have been a super quick ambush, but obviously you do get alerted as the opposing team when the medevac is going to be summoned.
Right. You don't know where though.
Yes. But these, I think in the end, these pro teams can probably
into it. Like, if you are in a place where if you get found, you may lose the game because you lose a hero, then maybe just back off.
Yeah, just chill. But for now, all these camps are going to come and run up against one another. Top lane, for example, will eventually equalize out.
Zarmony. Stormbolt get revealed there as well. Leoric at the top lane, keeping a little bit of that experience lead.
Yeah, they're doing really well about that, actually.
Yeah, what Cloud9 wants now is that, okay, although they're not ahead on lots of levels, they want to get level 20. Yes. They want to get the Rewind, the Redemption, maybe the level 20 upgrade Storm Tier for Tyrande. the bolt of the storm of Kerrigan, Hardened Shield, and use that.
Train is in a precarious spot here.
He's gonna have to
goes
shield
down.
himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shadow Stalk. This could be a turnaround. Kerrigan's coming in from the right-hand side here, trying to Morales, and you finally get some brilliant stuff here by iDream to come in from that angle here. We barely even caught him coming in, and that was just the perfect move.
Wonderfully played there. Nice Void Prison action there. Oh, Kerrigan!
Oh, wow.
1 for 1.
Blowing someone up there as well. Fan is under a lot of pressure
Nice
as
lunar
well.
flare, double.
Sonya just never dies under all of this pressure. And even Dunk Train is once again in quite a bit of trouble. There's the force wall. Dunk Train's going to go down 3 for 1 after losing Morales at the very beginning of this fight. That is ridiculous here from Team Dignitas.
Yeah, now they're here with a 4 versus 2 at the enemy core. Snitch is too low though. I don't think you can go finish.
It's too much. It's way too much.
But
that
that's the
healer. If they had a healer, if somebody else had died and it wasn't Morales,
sure,
then yeah, I think they could have gone, but oh well.
Huh?
That was cool.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That was like from the moon to the earth.
Yeah. Just back off now and do some camps. It could easily rotate round towards the top shrine, though. That's the interesting thing about it all, because they've still got 20 seconds or so before 3 extra members are coming up here for Cloud9.
Yeah, but you can't ask all the 40 skeletons to come out immediately. They come out piecemeal, so they can give away about 20 skeletons to the opponent, to Team Dignitas, and then Cloud9 can come in and clean up.
And it's not as impactful here to Cloud9 at all. They do have a fort up towards the top against the Frozen Punisher here that, unless something goes really awry for Cloud9, this shouldn't actually do too much.
Yeah, if they actually rushed in there feeling impatient about it, that could do a lot more.
Yeah, yeah.
23 skeletons, yeah, they're not in position to contest it. They wisely get level 20 and starting to move up here. Are they actually going to contest, or will they defend it passively? Aleksandar coming in here, ready to do some force walls. No, it is done. It is done, effect complete, and there we go with the Punisher being taken.
Now, something that obviously we don't get to see too much is Morales here, while these little fights are going on, and her level 20 talent is very important. Caduceus Reactor 2.0 allows her to be so much more sustainable because she has a big shield that is going to back her up during all of this, and it stacks as well. So
plus the mana regen as well.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. So, again, Caduceus Reactor, for some reason in this game, pretty good.
All right, now we see the Zera still flank, Kerrigan not flanking, but she does have that Q that can put her pretty much anywhere.
This is quite the aggressive push.
There we go!
On the side here's iDream though, and a great little combo hits 3 of them. Zix has already popped his arcane barrier here to try and keep himself alive. Dream actually have already used that. They were going to see Morales end up going down despite having that shield available to him. Found the great little blitz forwards and actually blows up KL fast, very fast there. That's 2 for 0, and Dignitas have to get on out of here.
That's a great play by Fan there, getting the most out of his character there on the Zera tool. Shadow Spike missing there. Morales got taken down. Snitch as well. Sonya now asking where her allies are. Nice whirlwind there though, but it's not going to be enough. This is a 5 versus 2 situation.
Yeah, that was a brilliant engagement there by Cloud9. Very well done. Really good anticipation of just being able to cause chaos with the melee assassins. Just force them to always go into... Oh!
He still has prescience, I think.
Yeah, I think he should have as well.
But if he gets stunned, he can't use it. But there we go.
Dimensional Warp as well, giving a little bit of health there. So
I don't think there's enough damage to dissuade Cloud9 from leaving here. It's either 2 keeps or an attempt for the core.
I think 2 keeps is probably...
Yeah, Kel'Thas is coming back.
Yeah.
That's the real thing.
Oh, and even just the 1 keep.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, okay, Morales, Aleksandar, Murden, they can't do anything by themselves, but Kel'Thas coming out, that's scary. They got their pound of flesh, they got the return keep.
I really like what we're still seeing Cloud9 constantly doing here with the Surrender as well, which is always an auto-attack build, and now we're even seeing level Nexus Blades coming in.
Yeah, we've got Huntress's Fury for attack speed when he casts his Hunter's Mark. Searing attacks, we've got Hunter's Mark, Nexus Frenzy, and True Shot.
It's actually extremely powerful.
High damage, yeah, certainly.
Very much so, and something that you just don't expect unless you've, been playing.
What is King Caffeine doing here? You're 1 versus 5, why are you poking?
He is dead. That's what he is. And
he will only work with allies who will never betray him.
Where are they going? Are they going keep?
No, they're going to the Bruiser camp.
Oh, okay.
He's like, where are you guys? Where are you guys?
That would be pretty crazy if they were to do something like that. But at least even, you know, Bruiser Camp here this fast means that it's going to put some pressure on whilst they go over towards the shrine.
And besides boss, this is the best camp in the game on any battleground.
Yes.
Because he will keep summoning those hounds of hell. So they need to take this down. Now, shrine is activated. They will activate it immediately. This was a necessary defense or they would lose the keep. Maybe 1.5 minutes. So first skeletons are going to Team Dignitas. They're also going to get the advantage of positioning.
Yes. The problem is that if Dignitas does get this Punisher towards the bottom, there's no keep. There is a straight push towards core. So Cloud9 has to be very, very respectful of this shrine right now. They need to come in from all sides, but already being sealed away.
Ooh. Okay. Bit of a panic button combo there by Kerrigan. No one in sight.
Kerrigan getting displaced there for a moment there by Morales.
Snitch taking a lot of damage on the Kel'Thas there, but fully out-healed by Medic.
The thing is that the slower this fight is for Cloud9, the more little extra minions Dignitas is racking up here.
28 already.
So there's
but here we go. I Dream trying to get zoned out. Oh, that's not the best void prison. Oh, Snitch! Glance!
Tries to blink running towards him, and it looks like they're going to be able to keep him alive for now. He blinks away himself, doing himself Bakery. Also under a lot of pressure, actually using the Medivac. I don't know if this is really going to work out. He needs to be in the fight and needs to be helping out. He's abandoned the location for a moment here. Dignitas is probably going to lose after if they're not careful.
Leave none behind.
Oh!
So got taken out. That was a bit weird.
That was very strange. That's a combo coming out from iDream here. He doesn't really have much available left to him though to keep him alive. And Morales is going to end up going down as well. That was
She deserved it.
Yeah, that was a bizarre little turn of events.
Fan running away here. Kel'Thas will get taken down as well. That's 3 down on Team Dignitas. 4 versus 2. They're in hot pursuit of ADRD's Tassadar, but oh, he's so hard. ADRD loves to play characters that are hard to kill.
Oh yeah.
Aether somewhere far away. Whoa, he's going back in.
Yeah, that was.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's gonna be the game by the looks of things.
that will not be in a highlight reel of best moves in the game ever.
No, it will not. There was some.
Maybe 1 year ago, but no.
Yeah, there was some extremely odd moments there at the very end.
Where did Kel'Thas even blink to? He bolted up the storm away.
Kel'Thas blinked north,
right? Right.
Yeah.
And then Morales was like, here, I'll come for you. But then the other 3 didn't get the memo, and they were attacking by themselves.
It seems so.
Cloud9 got a gift. It's not Christmas yet. It's Halloween soon. They got a gift, but they're happy to take it.
Oh, there you go. GG.
Any way you get it.
Cloud9 is going to be able to tie up the series 1-1 after one of the more bizarre ends to a game that I've seen in quite a while. That was not your common end there, Jake.
They played really well, but I gotta give Dig a lot of props, especially in the early game. Cloud9 had the composition that was all about execution. It was all about diving in and taking out Morales. Medic, I know I mispronounce Morales every time. Everyone's making fun of me in the back room.
Oh yeah, we would do that.
So I'm just gonna say Medic. Anyways, yeah, so just really was all about blowing her up as quickly as humanly possible, but every single time they succeeded in doing so, Dignitas still won the fight. They had Tassadar, they had Sonya, they had all the sustain they needed to be victorious in the battles. And it was just looking phenomenally for them. But it really just came down to one big play. One big moment in that top lane when we saw the Immortal pushing in. So let's actually take a look at the replay where we can just see the whole thing. So I'm just gonna pause it here in our Windows 10 game DVR replay where we can see that they picked up this Immortal and it's in the top portion of the battleground, right? It's looking at this keep, they want to get this keep and they've committed to the fight. But you can see that snap call. Kerrigan dives in, she pops Maelstrom, she has Divine Shield. This means she's indestructible and she's unstoppable. You cannot stun her, you can't damage her, and in this instance, she's just gonna power up those shields with Maelstrom and try to tear through the enemy team as fast as it can. Now, in previous fights, they were really just looking for Medic as often as possible, but really we saw more of a focus going for it, not only Medic, but Kel'Thas. So as we see it all unfold, Medic dives in, VP locking out the rest of the team in the back, which is a huge part of this, and just immediately getting that first blow up on Medic, then you gotta turn and kill Kel'Thas. Once you do this, Kel'Thas can't blink. I mean, it's level 20. You can secure these kills. It's just going to set yourself up for a great spot. After they get the next takedown here, this is really just going to be exactly what Cloud9 needs to put themselves back in this game. They've already lost that bottom keep, but the win in this team fight then propels them forward. They take that middle keep, putting them on an even footing. Yeah, nice little cute force wall from Tassadar, who does end up falling as well. But in the end of it, I mean, it's just about carrying. We saw this earlier attempted for an Illidan composition where they put a lot of resources into that one hero, and it was all about carrying. And you know, Dignitas, they withstood all of that damage throughout the game. They just kept making it work, but it worked once, and it was enough for Cloud9.
Yeah, and I don't think it would have even worked out as well without Zeratul.
Oh, VP was a huge part of that for sure.
There was some really good blinks and then wormholes during that initial fight that you were just mentioning here that added big damage for say to the KL Fast that just got obliterated during it. So really well played.
I mean, we don't see a lot of double melee assassin, but they showed they can definitely make it work. And a lot of people do say that Zeratul is almost more of a ranged assassin once you have wormhole, because you're blinking in and then you're back out like a ranged assassin. So it's kind of funny.
All right, well, that is it here for game number 2. Of course, we have now to decide one final game between these two teams. Before we get to game number 3, though, we can hear from our winners of our previous game about how the strengths are here in the World Championship.
I think Train as our captain really brings a lot of stability to our team. We can on occasion get a little rowdy or kind of lose focus on what we're really trying to be practicing, and Dunk's really the one to be there and bring it all together and make sure that we stay on track.
What can I say about any of you? The strongest thing about King Caffeine is probably his presence on the team. Everyone relies on him constantly, and he just always performs. iDream's biggest strengths are his capitalization on the enemy's mistakes, I think better than anyone else in the scene right now. ChWimPro's strengths are definitely in the realm of mechanical outplay. That's just a really amazing feeling when you're playing as a team. You're, positioning for a 5v5 and then suddenly you hear from the flank, hey, I killed someone, and you're like, yes! I think it's really obvious that Fan just brings the better strategic sense, just capitalizing on the map rotations and strategic things rather than the team fighting itself, which is something that we lacked prior to his addition.
Let's end this thing, once and for all. My life for ire. StarCraft 2, Legacy of the Void. Pre-purchase now at starcraft.com.
I think one of the funniest moments playing as a team is not actually in a pro game, but in a scrim. We just started learning medic. We think, oh, he's really strong. And we put the medivac out, right? And then we're like, oh yeah, let's go bot lane. We can take that keep. And instead of going in front of the keep with the medivac, we flew into the keep and just all died.
All right, welcome back here to the Heroes of the Storm World Championship for our opening weekend here as we continue on with our best of 3 between Team Dignitas and Cloud9. And 1-1 at the moment, which is always good to see. Nice to get us back into a game number 3 once again. And already we're pretty close to actually getting into the draft here between Cloud9 and Team Dignitas. And our map will be Battlefield of Eternity. So if anything really stands out to me, guys, it's that you probably should ban out that Abathur again.
Yeah, I mean, even with Cloud9 winning game 2, I have to say that game looked in favor of Dignitas. I mean, throughout most of the game. The use of Medic was phenomenal. Not only for just getting across the battleground and setting up plays, but for keeping Medic alive. And in so many fights, even I remember early in the game, Medic hopped in the medevac, and then Cloud9 blew it up, and they ended up killing Medic, but in turn, they spent so much time doing so that they ended up losing the fight because the entire rest of the team was able to back up, reposture, get ready, and then just tear Cloud9 apart in a 4v5.
Has a lot of health, that's for sure.
Yeah, it does.
But for now, guys, let's get into game number 3's draft here between Cloud9 and Team Dignitas. So we are on that Battlefield of Eternity, as we mentioned before. And if I was Cloud9, I'd be banning out Abathur, and there it goes. There's no way I would.
It is confirmed on stream, Kalaris is Cloud9.
There you go.
So there we go, yeah. It's a smart pick. I mean, they had reason to investigate Abathur before the tournament to see, okay, we never want that on ADRD. They thought maybe play with fire, don't ban it. They paid for it, and now they have to follow suit and do it twice in a row.
But that's the biggest problem. In the end, you know, that mine build, yeah, it's pretty strong on Cursed Hollow, but on this map, it's actually ungodly strong.
It's actually a nightmare.
Yes, it's not fun to play.
You'll actually wake up crying tomorrow morning.
Well, they're well aware of the likelihood of Cloud9 first picking Uther like they did in the last game. So banning Uther out, also very intelligent. Cloud9 will then opt to pick up Jaina. Pretty standard pick.
Yeah, Team Dignitas was like, okay, you've got double melee assassin quite under control. Uther enables that. Let's remove that. Jaina was taken. Wouldn't be surprised to see something like Murden Kel'Thas as they do the stunts together. It's a bit more classical.
Unless they really want their healer this early on themselves to make sure that either Cloud9 is going to take everything away from them or ban it out later on, because
but then
it's important.
Cloud9 has been picking like other healers as well, Mal or Brightwing, so I don't think they need to ban a Karazin. You're not going to ban a Mal for Brightwing because their power level isn't over 9,000, so... Alright, let's see. We're going to go with Murden.
There's our Murden start things.
Yeah, it could be Murden Kel'Thas, or if they want to deny Tyrande, Murden Tyrande, yeah.
Also possible Tassadar.
There it is, and this is smart. I mean, Cloud9 has prioritized Tyrande in the last 2 games. So if you can take that comfort pick away, I mean, suddenly you're just shifting K1 Pro to a different hero, and that's always good to do.
Sure.
Yeah, he has looked very comfortable on it. You're totally right about that. So always nice to take it away, and this now sets up Team Dignitas for a really strong stun comp when there is so much skirmishing and fighting in the middle of the map. So they're in a good spot already. Tassadar, that is a very, very early choice from them here for, one would imagine, Force Walls to try and stop any kind of impeding stun rotation and potential kill.
Yeah, I like Tassadar because it means you have double support. In the end, you're not going to go solo Tassadar, usually at least. And that can help to prevent a lethal happening to one of your heroes when they get focused by Murden Tyrande.
Sonya coming out here for Cloud9. What do you make of this one, Jake?
Is that a King Caffeine respect ban?
The Leoric is a King Caffeine respect ban, but I'm beaming with a massive smile.
Yeah.
I mean, I Dream on Sonya is something beautiful. In a lot of ways, you could almost credit some of the victories to his play in Vegas for the Americas Championships to that Sonya play. I mean, he just tore through the opponents, and then the respect ban on Karazim. There's a lot of respect in this matchup right now.
Yeah. Right, so Dignitas will not be able to take Uther or Karazin. So which healer does he favor? Last game it was Morales.
At least regardless of what Team Dignitas has, they have Tyrande available to them already, right? So it is kind of like that.
2 range stunners.
This is disgusting. Stormbolt, Lunar Flare, Gravity Lapse. There is so much lockdown on the side of Dignitas. And you want to follow that up with ETZ?
Well, have fun, Cloud9. That's a lot of control that Team Dignitas has right now.
I would not want to fight that composition.
So,
like, Sonya is a hero that struggles against lockdown, right?
Yes.
That is her weakness, and she's facing 4 enemy heroes that have lockdown with a potential of 5.
With huge health pools in the front.
This has to be a Brightwing for Cloud9. They need the shields. Tassadar Brightwing is quite strong. They need the polymorph and the blink in for assistance.
So they need a second warrior and a healer. You think Brightwing?
I think Brightwing. Yep, there it is.
And then what's going to be the warrior? Could be Tyrael, maybe?
I'd be okay with
Johanna.
Tyrael, just because Tyrael has to get out and escape. But Johanna would also be nice.
Probably Johanna, because you need to do the Iron Skin combination with Condemned to interrupt any potential mosh pits. I have to think it has to be Johanna.
I like that train of thought. Although at the same time, Tyrael is going to be the choice here.
Okay, all right. It's the aggressive choice.
Yeah.
Hard support as well, which is cool.
Yeah.
Johanna.
I mean, he can give Sonya movement speed. He can give Sonya shielding.
But ETC, if he ever gets a mosh pit, there's only... I mean,
Judgment and Ancient Spear and Polymorph. Polymorph's the big one.
I mean, on Tyrael's side, even something that's like Holy Ground later on is going to help out quite a lot if they want to properly disengage or even just want to catch someone on the wrong side of the stick, really.
Dunk Train's positioning on Brightwing is going to be of paramount importance here. And Bakery is going to go with the Malfurion.
This is something you hardly ever get to see from Team Dignitas, because everything else is gone.
But draft-wise, like hero composition-wise, is the perfect choice.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Especially considering Tyrande's there. True love.
Oh, you're such a role player.
If only Illidan was banned.
Chat
that would
spam
be
role
brilliant.
player. All right.
No, but seriously, the amount of lockdown that Dignitas has in this composition is insane. I mean, we talked about 4 heroes that have stuns. You throw roots on top of that, that not only root you in place, but it's about control. It's about control over the team fights. And they have what the doctor ordered.
All right,
well, really like Dignitas' draft here.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
Do you favor them as well, or maybe Cloud9?
I feel like Dignitas has the stronger early game by a long shot.
All right, well, it seems we're already ready to go into game number 3 here between these two teams. So thank you very much, Jake. We'll be checking in with you after the game once again here as game number 3 is about to begin between Cloud9 and Team Dignitas. Find out who is moving on through to the BlizzCon semi-finals. As we have on the left-hand side, Team Cloud9 with Trinh on Brightwing, Fan on Tassadar, iDream on the Sonya, K1 Pro is on Jaina, and King Caffeine going to be playing Tyrael. And then to the right-hand side, we have Team Dignitas with ADRD on Tyrande, Athero going to be playing ECC, Bakery on Malfurion, Snitch on KLFast, and finally Zarmony on Muradin as usual.
All right. See where everyone goes. I wonder if they're going for my special strategy, attacking the enemy's mid-gate for no reason at all and putting yourself at unnecessary risk.
Oh, I heard about that one last time we were actually casting a tournament together. It sounded utterly useless.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
All right, luckily that's not happening by either one. We do have a chance encounter here by all 5 in the middle, but they're showing significantly more restraint than I usually do. Everyone now taking their positions in this theater of war. It's Malfurion who will go to the solo lane top, using that Moonburn talent to do some good wave clear and staying out of Sonya's way. Got the 4v4 at the bottom here. This is going to be a low action lane, so let's look at the 4 versus 4 Murder in there. Hiding as a creeper in the jungle there on the Nexus Battle Beast. Didn't I could use that already?
Yeah, no did I. Some people have already been using it, and the Eldarunes might on out of there. Great moves by King Caffeine to keep himself alive. Again, not too commonly we get to see him on something other than Lyric, but apparently he knows how to play Tyrael.
Yeah, and very key there that Eldarune's Might was thrown before that stun combo. Was it? You don't have enough time to teleport it, you still have to throw the sword.
That's totally true. Any well-versed Tyrael player will tell you woes of, I've thrown my Eldarune's Might, but I couldn't reactivate it in time.
Now, Tassadar didn't take his level 1 talent yet, and he just got a globe. I wonder if he picked it up on time. Well, anyway, it's only 0.1 regeneration per second on his mana.
Interestingly enough, looking at Tyrael's talents, already a pretty aggressive talent taken by him. Purge Evil extra damage here on the Smite by 25%. So usually you would see kind of a more tanky go-to from Tyrael's.
Regeneration Master.
Yeah, but this is...
It should be mentioned though, this is the worst map for Conjurer's Pursuit like talents.
Definitely.
And yet we still often see it for lack of a better alternative. But this is a good one. Purge Evil there. Tyrael, no Eldarune's Might yet. Stunlock, that's a death. He will use his Archangel's Wrath to try and explode upon the enemy Immortal at the very least.
And this is the big problem against a composition like this. If the rotations come in, you're almost never going to get away. Even if you have tools available to you, they continue to plow on down. Brightwing's going to fall. And it was as simple as 1, 2, 3. They just came in from every angle and killed her off.
Yeah, excuse me, sir. Do you have a stun? Yes, we have 4 for you. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Brightwing got taken down. Now, that is a bit of a chained casualty suffering there on the side of Cloud9, so they're unable to do too much of an executive move there attacking. They're going to go defend for now. One strategy on this map is to have 1 hero per lane doing experience and 3 defending. And if you see the opponent attack with 4, 3 can hold off with the help of the Immortal's stuns in your defense. If it escalates and they come with all 5, that's when you rotate back to defense. So we see that coming out here a bit of that 1-3-1 action. Eldarune's Might goes away. Do you want to do the camp? No, he was just escaping.
Yeah, missing with that Stormbolt really didn't help their efforts at all onto chasing up on that kill on Tyrande, or Tyrael even. Otherwise, it could have been a full kill, even with Eldarune's Might actually coming out at that particular point. But it's not to be the case here. Cloud9 still sticking around and will keep themselves alive at the moment, even pushing them away from their opponent, from their Immortals. So they're not doing too bad defensively.
This is a very dynamic map if you're very good and in good coordination, good communication, because you can always defend with fewer people than it's needed to attack with. Now we see a 4 versus 5 defense while Sonya is attacking. As I said, 1 man down, you can defend with relative equality. But Sonya was able to attack 1 versus 0, which is much easier. Still, enough poke damage from Dignitas to bring it to the 50% point.
And you can even see changes in talents, like Frost Shards being picked up here by K1 Pro, because it is so useful on a map like this, you can eventually have, you know, those frost bolts being able to pierce on through and do additional damage to the ones behind them. Usually you see it with the level 7 talent as well, Ice Lance, which basically makes her a machine gun of ice bolts in the end.
Yeah, every target hit with Frostbolt will have a cooldown reduction. If you actually hit twice, that's a double cooldown reduction. Possibly even paired up with Icy Veins for Frostbolts for days.
Yeah. Well, already this has been summoned here in the aid of Team Dignitas, so not too bad a start for them at all, despite them getting themselves those 2 kills early on as well.
They're going for a 5-man top. I thought they were going for a 2-3 rotation, pushing the other lane as well, but looks like they're coming in here with 5, but
indecisiveness would have cost them experience down towards the bottom, so if they are wanting to do that, they better make it count. But right now, it doesn't look like they did too much with it. Didn't look like there was too much experience lost from Zarmany down towards the bottom.
He actually lost 0. I saw that he just got those 3 footmen. They were just thinking like 5 versus 2 sounds really attractive, but once they saw 4 on the defense, they were disabused of the notion and they were starting to send back Murden down again. Don't want to push in 5 versus 4. It's not enough. The Immortal doesn't have that much life to stay there for that long.
Interesting timing on the hard camp here as well for Cloud9, who take it. So it's not like timed up with the Immortals coming down at all. And
it's almost like activity therapy, like we need something to do.
Get it done, yeah.
There's something to be said for it if you have something planned after it.
That's true, that's true. That's actually a really good point that you bring up on a map like this, because it's just 2 lanes and sometimes there's really not that much to do at all.
Same as Haunted Mine. It's like, alright, what's the next move? Sometimes nothing is the right answer.
Yeah, just chilling out and doing what you can. It actually is Ice Lance at level 7 here, so it's machine gun Frostbolts here, which is always really, really fun to watch from a JaeHyun when it's pulled off correctly. You've got to land your skill shots, obviously.
There was something heavy on the heart of every Team Dignitas player. Remember that moment when King Caffeine on the Yorick last game came and stole the camp at the 11th hour? They just got back again. They can finally put that to rest. They just took it, the 1 HP minion there, mercenary.
I'm glad no therapy was required for these kinds of things, Grumpy.
Sometimes it just passes. Time is all you need, and opportunity.
They're one of the greatest of healers, I get you.
Sure.
Alright, well,
8 versus 8 here. I've been seeing Cloud9 taking this level 4 talent. My wife told me about it. Unstable anomaly. Polymorph. When you come out of Polymorph, you explode and hurt all your allies around you, whether that's minions or other heroes.
You basically read my mind. I didn't say anything about it. I'm like, what is that? Because I hardly ever get it seen picked.
Yeah.
So unstable anomaly.
It's pretty cool. The alternative is like slightly more healing when you cast Manic Pixie on someone. Sometimes it's like a peekaboo when you Z on someone using that phase shift, teleport on your ally to get a momentary reveal around it. But going instead for the damage. So that kind of falls in line with Tyrael's choice as well, the Purge Evil or damage. They have double support, so they want a little bit more, Yeah,
it's cool. I really like seeing these little kind of niche picks, as it were, to just really round things out.
Dunk Train has been playing phenomenal. He doesn't have a Brightwing loss this tournament yet.
Oh, all right.
That was a 2-0. Both games Brightwing in the first series. It's 1-1 now, so it's the most important phase yet.
Level 10 about to hit for Team Dignitas. Those 10 talents coming in. Tranquility, Avatar, Shadowstalk, Mosh, as well as the Phoenix being thrown down instantaneously. And they could get themselves a very, very big Immortal here if they are not careful here. So Cloud9 is going to have to back on off.
Oh, that was too quick. He used his... Oh, no, he used his E-escape ability before Mosh Pit was initiated. Athero being patient there. Ideally, you want to dodge Power Slide with that. He used it now, they know exactly where he's going to come out and when. That was a bit unfortunate.
And the level 10s come in just at the wrong moment when they don't have 5 members. So they have to go for the weird race where they never know they're never going to get their opponents more, but they have to bring it down as much health as possible.
Yeah, you take off the shield, right? All the remaining HP of the Immortal is added as a shield.
All right, so what are we seeing? We're seeing Water Elemental come in, Blink Heal, Wrath of the Berserker, and still no actual choice here from Tassadar or Tyrael, actually.
And that's not necessary indecision. Like, it could be, but I'm willing to bet it's not. You're delaying the moment. Like, these are quiet moments in the game. enemy will be tabbing to see what skills you have.
Exactly.
Once the fight breaks out, like right about now, they could pick Heroic and you don't know. Force War Archon, pretty big difference, Skalaris.
Yes, definitely. Even, I mean, Judgment Sank is a pretty big deal difference as well, to be honest with you. I would expect it to be Sank in the end. I'm trying to go for it there, but Kozlovski goes straight down onto Water. That's a great move, though. Is able to pick quite a few of the members. Blinks on out there from Dunk-Train. Keep himself alive. That's a Force Wall coming in, though. Being able to block some in, ETC already ends up going down. And that is going to be 2-for-0 trade here. Great little fight for Cloud9.
Such glory to the Force Wall there, and this shows how important it is sometimes to hide that Heroic.
And it was sanctification
cool.
in the end as well. So any damage that was coming in during all of that, you know, they were soaking up quite a big chunk of it as well. So really good anticipation there by Cloud9, considering the fight and the position that they were in, which was a little bit behind.
Yeah, I'm starting to create a little bit of space in my heart, which says I love Dunk-Train's Brightwing play. It's really cool so far. He was able to stay alive there as well, in large part thanks to sanctification as well. And then with the turnaround, as ETC tried to face melt everyone away, he's like, all right. I don't want to do this anymore, but Force Wall locked them in.
Something that comes up here for Brightwing, though, especially going up against the KL Fast, is you have to be careful when and who you're going to be blinking to at any time, because otherwise you can be a traitor little butterfly in some instances, and you can start spreading bombs everywhere if you're not careful.
Oh, sure.
So it's definitely something that a Brightwing going up against the KL Fast in particular really need to pay attention to.
Yeah, supports in general are very difficult to play in this game at the optimum level.
Yes.
Brightwing, Karazim, Uther, all not easy heroes. Some parts of them are easy, other parts are very, very difficult. There's a lot of glory, unlike in some other MOBAs, like in playing the support, they're true playmakers, and Dunk-Train has been really, really impressive.
Yeah, he's really been on point for sure. At the moment, we're just seeing this cap being taken over on this side.
Simultaneous level 13.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm liking it. I wouldn't have it any other way, considering this is the third game going with NA and EU in the clash, and trying to move on towards the semi-final, because one of these teams will take first place in Group A, which is a huge, huge deal.
And I think level 13 is a little bit stronger for Team Dignitas. Not by a whole lot, but a little bit, if the chain bombs go off properly. Now, level 16 is huge for Team Cloud9. Brightwing, poor Brightwing. Little Red Riding Hood Brightwing is able to get away safely. I'm so glad about that. And 5-man rotation here at the bottom. It's a small investment. It means that enemy tower, you can take down a tower, being Cloud9. They're there with the Tassadar at the top, presumably getting a bit of that done. And now the minion wave is advancing there. Immortal defense is being done. 4 versus 5. Brightwing will stay down there to continue to gather experience points.
One of the most pointless Stormbolts of all time. We're just poking away any of them, putting some fear into Fan.
Like a petulant child, Muradin.
Throw things at you.
Oh, that's a better one. Tyrael taking some damage, but little shields.
That is plenty of shields, not only from himself, but also from Fan there. And now, obviously, Tassadar, there's a lot of T's, having it on a 5-second cooldown as opposed to pre-patch. Very, very powerful stuff.
Bank, ETC moving up here, starting to do the damage here against the Immortal. There's a little bit more time pressure on the side of Team Dignitas usually, because they don't have the Brightwing who continues to get experience. Snitch did rotate down for a bit to get some XP. And dodges the Lunar Flare.
Seeing how Cloud9 are going to be able to shape up. Already iDream was looking maybe to get the flank. Here comes the Shadow Stalk though. As Cloud9 realize that this has been popped at the moment. They've got to be very careful. Look at the flank on the left-hand side. ETC's coming around from the swing here. And he's going to be able to launch straight off. No! That's a double mosh pit. There's also Roots down as well here. And then Sanctification has been thrown down. There wasn't enough damage there for them to be able to follow up with the kills. That's a very, very good move here by Cloud9 to be able to save that position. But at the same time, still taking big damage. Arthur going to power slide forward. iDream gets himself one out of there. And that won't be any kills going over to anybody.
Okay, that's 4 heroics used, 5 heroics used by Team Dignitas. We've got Sanctification used. Blink Heal Force are always up. Actually, everyone used their heroics, but we've got this short cooldown of heroics for Tassadar and Brightwing, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, they definitely don't count in the good old tally that we have to go for. iDream going to be flinging himself in there for now as well. They really want to go for the defensive posture on towards their Immortal, but it's already at half health, and that's going to force themselves a proper fight if they're not careful.
Bit of a weird force wall overlapping with natural terrain. If you ever thought you couldn't walk through walls, now is definitely not the time to try.
You're really not going to be walking through this one.
iDream there, flanking with the Sonya staying mounted for now. Seeing if he could do a poison spear on someone. Excuse me, spear of
Ancient
something.
Spear?
Ancient Spear, thank you.
And Mystical Spear for level 13.
Yeah.
But still, this is a better position here for Team Dignitas. Oh, iDream coming over with that Mystical Spear across the wall.
Missed it, but used Shots of Fury. Is very angry right now. Able to use Seismic Slams, Whirlwinds as he sees fit.
Usually when you see people grabbing this position that Cloud9 have, you would see like one person maybe splitting off and trying to do some damage on towards the other, and also playing it very, very slowly, but it's difficult against, with teams so evenly matched like this to even do that, and it's already so low.
Yeah. And now they're starting to say, okay, we'll just do as much damage as we can. We don't dare to go up. Look at the mana pool. Very healthy mana pool here on the left. A little bit less so. They just didn't want to take any risk. That's pretty much most of it there.
And one thing to note on Battlefield of Eternity is that that Immortal will always go to the most healthy lane. So it's not the biggest loss in the world that it goes to the top and gets itself a 4 at least, but it's like Dignitas. Here goes the Shadowstalk again. They're looking for something. Oh, you can see Caffeine though. He is well aware of what's going on.
They also have Oracle to... They can always use that immediately after Shadowstalk, just so they don't get flanked.
That's really good, really good. Dunk setting himself on the other side of the map as well. He's just going to be split-soaking some of this experience, knowing that they want to catch up. They are behind at the moment. They do not want to go up against a level 16 Team Dignitas here.
This Immortal has barely been scratched. Like, this is almost as good as new. You could sell this for 80% of its value easily.
Probably.
Pushing in here. This could be a keep. I don't see actually how it's not. There's not a whole lot of poke damage.
Be very, very careful about this. They can't really go too far forward to all the way.
Oh, ADRD on the Toronto taking a lot of damage there. One elemental focusing, and he will go down immediately. Well done. Sanctification being used here. ETC dropping solo. The Angel.
Brilliant fight here by Cloud9 at the moment. Brilliant fight. Zarmini going to be on the retreat out as well here. Actually, you know.
Oh, you shall not pass.
During all of these fights, though, he got the keep. So.
Now, that was a good moment for Team Dignitas.
Almost, in essence, I mean, they got a keep, yeah.
They got a keep.
This is
equal levels. They will lose a fourth here, but they will not lose a keep.
No.
That was good for Dignitas.
Yeah, it's as amazing as it is. Yeah, they lost 3 and then they still come out on top, really. I mean,
but that keep was guaranteed.
Yes.
So it could have been a lot better for them if they didn't die. That was wonderfully done by Cloud9, actually. Did you see that Tassadar position so far forward? He is a ranged support, playing like a melee assassin.
Yeah.
Because he's got an excellent escape with those level 13 and 16 talents being so survivable.
So strong survivability. I mean, even if you don't want to pop dimensional shift yourself, you've always got 2 opportunities to get away.
Right.
Very rarely at this level of play do we see a Tassadar post 16 actually ever die because of prescience as well as dimensional warp.
Yeah, it will actually not activate if you do a full 20% life to 0 without any break, any interrupt, and you're stunned. But that's a bit difficult and risky as well.
Yes, that is true. Look at that by King Caffeine there. Throwing Eldraine Smite out way in advance and checking a bush with Smite just to make sure that Team Dignitas aren't there. They're taking so many good precautions going into this game. Again, so much respect by both of these teams.
Starting to push in here with the Bruiser camp. Material with a bit of a flank there. Just checking that he doesn't get flanked by ETC. That's what he's looking for.
I think if you think about the entire series so far, most of Cloud9's engagements when they need to flank have always almost been on point here against Team Dignitas. They've been taking the better fights, I feel, as much as Team Dignitas is, still definitely in this series.
Yeah, and they're leading with a keep, half a level down, thanks to Right Wing for amazing distance experience soak. Now the Immortals are starting to see a little bit of damage here being done on this Immortal. Are they going to finish that Bruiser camp? I'm curious about it.
They're really keen for this damage. You can see it in Cloud9's eyes at the moment because they know that every single time it's gone down and ETC is going to fall. That is a bad position here for Team Dignitas. Indeed, they were in such a good spot before, but losing one at this point in time, this is going to be a full health Immortal if they're not careful.
Yeah, Water Elemental, little snowman coming in there, getting set on fire. And that's ETC down, and that's kind of what I was wondering. Like, are they really finishing this cap with 2 people and trying to continue to defend 3v5? 4v5 is okay.
Yeah.
3v5, not okay. So they just needed to say, all right, let it get to the 50% point if we care that much about the boss. So, ETC down 10 seconds more. They will start to do some damage. That's a half-life shield.
Yeah, they did more than I was really expecting from them there, so that's good by them. Let's look at, I mean, technically, you could have seen Cloud9 play that a little bit slower and then eventually have got more life off on their Immortal, one would, you know, argue. But looks like they just want their Immortal. They just want to kind of even things up structurally because at the moment, still there's a fort in the bottom lane here for Team Dignitas. They really want rid of that so that they have, you know, almost equal map control and map vision.
But this one is going to die so fast. The same situation just now at top left. This could be a keep. They're up a level, equal heroes. Brightwing is actually doing one full more wave, maybe two. Let's wait and see.
I mean, a full level lead at the moment here for Cloud9, so level 20 is going to be rapidly approaching. Also, they do know that Brightwing's up there. They saw her with a Phoenix, and eventually she'll pop against some of those minions anyway. But still, this is she has to be up there because this is Cannon's catapult always pushing in.
There's Harmony here on the Murden. They just want to make him use his Dwarf Ghost down, like just jumping away.
Yeah,
didn't though, and that's a wall. That's level 19.95.
Now, Dignitas, Team Dignitas here are going to have to stall this out for a little while.
And that's level 20. 20 versus 18.5.
All right, what do we have coming in?
There is a pause until next Immortal. If you play it really safe,
yes,
you do not need to actually use this time to go on the map. It's very risky.
The only big problem is, though, because they killed the keep up towards top lane already, they're almost never getting experience from top lane because all the minions are always dying off, especially if Brightwing stalls it out and doesn't even clean up the wave.
Yes, I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. But he's clearing it, but he doesn't need to, actually.
No, actually, it's better to not kill them.
Don't attack. Let's look at Brightwing. Are you attacking?
If it gets closer, then sure.
Stop attacking. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah, that was definitely a stop in attacking those minions.
All right, well, we're pushing in here with those three ranged siege guys. Phoenix to disengage. They want to buy time. They would love to get this keep. You always want to use that talent advantage.
Hard and focused actually being picked up at level 16. Didn't realize this while Furion, but certainly helps out a lot in terms of healing. Actually goes to a mosh pit. There's not really many members. He's being killed off there. Polynor's going to end up going down. He's going to end up falling. There is not much you can do with that. The mosh pits have not been on point here for Team Dignitas. They have not caught enough members, especially Brightwing, who is constantly polymorph that target. And ETC has died free in each moment.
Yep. Oh, the catch, Murden, numbing blast on Snitch. Will he die so close to the gate? 30% life, but he's able to get back there.
Did you see that Frostbolt coming in from K1 Pro as well, like darting around Zami and almost catching him?
Yeah.
So really cool little moves coming out from him as well. But they get themselves a keep, all importantly, which does equalize those kinds of positions up. And the Immortals are coming up as well, whilst it's 5-on-4.
Yeah, ETC down. I mean, we've seen 3 mosh pits cancelled by Polymorph, which meant Dark Train is definitely not going to Polymorph anyone until mosh pit is started. He has never made that mistake, which, you know, for a player of his caliber would probably be not good.
The thing is now, he even has rewind at level 20, so even if he did polymorph somebody else, he'd just be like, well, I guess I'll just polymorph again.
Sure.
So
bit of a change done there on Fan with Tassadar. And the one time that he did get a mosh pit on Brightwing, there was no damage follow-up.
Dignitas here, being quite eager about their push with this force. I don't know if they should be this far forwards.
Already murdered down, and we've got the same situation as we saw before by Tempo Storm. This time it's Dignitas. Right when ETC was coming back, they lose another member. ADRD there on the Tyrande. Lunar Flare hits both people, but he goes down, and here at Hero Angel, the shortest alive time for an ETC ever.
This could be it. This definitely could be it. Cloud9 could be taking this series. All they have to do is right-click on that core and seal the deal. What a way to go as Sanctification comes down as well, because why on earth not? Cloud9 is going to be victorious here, and they are going to be the first team moving on to the semi-finals here at BlizzCon after their fantastic run throughout the American Championships. No surprise in the end that they are the ones moving on forwards first. This was a great performance by them, Grubby.
Yeah, they're moving to the battle cry of Dunk Train. Wouldn't let it get off that game. Absolutely excellent play, you know, from both teams this entire series, but really, I think Cloud9, they rallied together and they played much better in that final game.
In the end, though, I think the series as a whole was very, very close, which is super cool to see right now on this kind of stage, on this kind of level. It just means that overall, that you see these teams fighting against one another, after so many weeks and months of practice, they know it means so much to them, and all the regions are feeling very equally matched.
I think one of the coolest parts about that entire match, like all 3 games, is each game, the drafts felt quite different. And we saw respect bands on both sides.
Yes.
So just the diverse hero pools and play styles and approaches to each battleground from each team, truly impressive stuff. Like, you can tell they prepared hard for this tournament.
Oh yeah, definitely. Any moments during that game in particular, Jake, that you really stood out for you?
Yeah, let's actually take a look at those, because in a lot of ways, I mean, we definitely can say that for our Windows 10 game DVR replay, it's gonna be the Brightwing. That was one of the big plays in this. Now, we just saw this. The moment that you can see the polymorph, you can see that little shape in the word polymorph.
Aww.
That is the moment after we saw ETC start the dance. He's actually right here. I know it's kind of hard to see him right there, but he started this dance, and you know, almost in every single fight, we were seeing Brightwing just save that poly. You mentioned it at the end of the game, just holding on to it in the back pocket and using it to stop the mosh pit. And after you do that, you put ETC in a weird spot where he went to try to make a big play happen. He's trying to retreat now, but the force wall comes down. And this was the first team fight in the game where Cloud9 was victorious. I mean, just really well done turning that around. And they managed to pick up 3 kills for nothing after that. That really evens things up. But here in the top lane, we just saw a big play from Dignitas. They took yet another Immortal, and they're sitting up a level, so they have a talent tier advantage for a very brief window. And this is when they start to push in. But once again, you're going to see them start to push in a little bit, and Cloud9 is going to look for that moment of opportunity. And I could actually hear them in the back of the venue when they threw at that force wall. Again, another big part of control, and they just started yelling, Tyrande, Tyrande, Tyrande. And you will see the entire team just swarm on her right here. Like, that is the target. She's stuck in a weird spot. She's getting slowed, and she's not happy with her life because it's about to end. The poly goes down, and they blow her up. From here, they're able to propel this forward. ETC, again, the dance, not doing a whole lot. Ethereal will get blown up as well. And although they do end up losing a keep here, this is a situation that buys Cloud9 the time they need. They got level 16, they were able to get to level 20 on even footing, and Dunk just really holding onto those polys to stop the dance, to buy the time the team needs for the superior control in the fight, and it worked out in the end.
I have to stick with what I said at the end of that series, which was, I almost feel as if as the series went on, Cloud9's team fight compared to Team Dignitas's got better and better and better. They really, really understood which targets they had to be taking down and which angles they needed to be coming in from as well. It was really well played.
Their focus was flawless. Like, towards the end of that series, each game, like you said, it just got better.
Yeah, it was really cool to watch. But for now, guys, that does it for our series here, and that is now Cloud9 being able to move on through to the final day for BlizzCon. So we can take a look at the brackets to update you on exactly how things have gone down so far here in Group A. As you can see, Cloud9 victorious overall. That being said, it is double elimination group, so and none of these teams are out at the moment. They're all down in the lower bracket now, and they'll be fighting for their life.
Yeah, we're going to see that exciting conclusion at BlizzCon in November 6th and 7th. But here we go with Group B, Team DK and Natus Vincere Na'Vi. They will be the next match that we're going to be seeing. But Temperstorm and Braveheart still have a chance to break into top 4 as well.
Yes, this is a very exciting match that's about to come up here, guys. Team DK going up against Na'Vi, 2 of the very strongest in their own respective regions as well. DK having looked a little bit shaky, or more shaky than I was expecting them into their previous series, but in the end, Na'Vi almost, well, technically they haven't lost a map on this kind of particular road that they're doing so far.
I was speaking to Dignitas and Cloud9, and they said they think that Na'Vi is going to absolutely smash DK because of how well Na'Vi has been playing. So we'll see. I mean, it's definitely going to be an exciting matchup.
Na'Vi plays their own brand of Heroes of the Storm.
They do.
Nobody else really does.
They really do.
They're my favorite team here. Like from the European qualifiers all the way to here, seeing the heroes that they bring out, the level of coordination and just the play that they've been doing. I'm so excited to see that match. One of the most anticipated games actually of today, like knowing the matchup now. Now, I'm not going to ask you guys for predictions, because that's putting you on the spot. But I'm going to look at you suggestively.
Suggestively.
And hoping you do it anyway.
Did I already tell you did I already tell you mine backstage?
Maybe.
Okay, well, I'm not saying anything. All right, make sure to check out BlizzCon.com.
Denied.
I do this all the time. Check out BlizzCon.com for all the information regarding BlizzCon, not only the upcoming games for Heroes of the Storm, but also for Hearthstone, StarCraft 2, everything that's coming up. For now, though, we are done here. When we are back, we shall have the final series of the night. It's going to be hype as anything. It is Team DK going up against Na'Vi.